Spent some time outside lamenting the condition of your home. Unattractive siding, old drafty windows. If you can't stand another season with these, call Banner Construction today. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor, which means we have the expertise to properly install top quality James Hardie fiber cement siding on any home. When you hire Banner, you're not just purchasing products. You're investing in 25 years of home improvement expertise with a company that cares about the final result. Banner also installs James Hardie's Beechworth windows. Beechworth windows are beautiful wood windows with maintenance-free exteriors. Compare to Marvin, Pella, or Renewal by Anderson, and you'll see that Beechworth has the best features from each brand, all in one incredible window. Don't put it off another day. Call Banner Construction at 314-569-1050 and have a Banner day. Call 314-569-1050.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Brooklinen Bedding. It's brooklinen.com. So one of the things I talk about a lot with my live endorsement clients is sort of being in the bullseye, sort of being in that center area of the Venn diagram. And that's certainly the way it is with Brooklinen. They were just named the fastest growing bedding company. They have the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval. They have like 15,000 five-star reviews. So they sell a lot of bedding, yet it is ran like a very small company because it is a married couple that own the company. So they're very old school in the way they treat their employees, in the way they do business. Some of the other companies they compete with mark up their bedding as much as 300%. With Brooklinen, you get the very best bedding at a fraction of the price. Get $20 off and free shipping when you use promo code Glover at brooklinen.com. That's $20 off and free shipping when you use Glover at brooklinen.com.
Do you have sleep apnea but can't make your CPAP machine work for you? Clayton Sleep Institute can help. We treat many patients who compromise their health because they don't use their CPAP or use it less than they should. Our sleep specialists know all the new technologies and work with you to identify issues, map a plan for change, and support you so you can achieve CPAP success. Don't ignore your health. Let the Clayton Sleep experts help make CPAP work for you. Call us at 314-645-5855.
This hour brought to you by Lance Drury Law. IRS problems? Call local attorney Lance Drury for legal help. 314-260-6120 or go to lancedrurylaw.com.
When the need for senior care arises, there's no place like home. Your loved ones should never have to give up living at home. Visiting Angels will provide home care for your mom or dad at home up to 24 hours per day, including personal care, meals, and light housework. You'll select your professional caregiver with Visiting Angels. Look up visitingangels.com or call 877-374-LIVE. That's 877-374-LIVE. Franchises are available. Visiting Angels, America's choice in senior home care.
When it comes to maintaining our vehicles, we all know to change the oil. But did you know cleaning the fuel system is just as important? Even high-quality fuel can leave behind carbon deposits, robbing your engine of power and fuel economy. Gumout has a solution. Regain Complete Fuel System Cleaner. Regain contains polyetheramine, a nitrogen-based detergent that safely removes deposits to help restore engine performance. Get a bottle of Regain today for just $4.94 at your local Walmart. Gumout. Science in, perform it out.
Kevin and Dave here from Mentality, St. Louis. Dave, what are the most common benefits your patients tell you they feel from low T treatment?
The first thing they notice is the energy. Start having the zest to get back into action with work, the family, being involved in their communities. And then after that, they start to notice how they feel and look better when they go to the gym and work out.
What I love about testosterone treatment being covered by insurance in our St. Louis Mentality office, it puts cost of care within reach of every guy. To find out more, go to lowtusa.com.
If you have retirement questions, you can bet Marvin Mitchell probably has the answer. Join him every Saturday at 4 and Sunday at 1 for Rethinking Retirement. With his years of experience, Marvin can help take the guesswork out of your retirement planning. Rethinking Retirement is your source for all things retirement, from how current events could affect your savings to strategies to maximize your retirement income and everything in between. Don't miss Rethinking Retirement with Marvin Mitchell every Saturday at 4 and Sunday at 1.
This hour brought to you by Lance Drury Law. IRS problems? Call local attorney Lance Drury for legal help. 314-260-6120 or go to lancedrurylaw.com.
The Marc Cox
Show.
I want to compliment your show on how fair and level-headed everything you guys talk about.
Who is this guy? He's saying what we've been saying forever.
Maybe what we need from a conservative standpoint is
The Marc Cox Show.
I respect that. We don't agree.
Listen to both sides.
This
Let's get it on.
is The Marc Cox Show.
Sadly, in recent months, incredibly, I have to say, incredibly, a coalition of open borders extremists, and to me that means crime, people that don't mind crime. They mind it when it happens to them. They don't mind it when they have to watch it on television, have waged an unprecedented assault on American law enforcement, our greatest people.
There you have it. President of the United States speaking out yesterday. He was bashing him on the wall. He was bashing him on illegal immigration. He was bashing the phony blue wave, as he calls it, that he says isn't coming in November. So
we hope he's right.
Typical Trump. He was having a good day yesterday. There's no doubt about that. Welcome into the Marc Cox Morning Show. A happy Tuesday.
Yes, sir. Happy Tuesday.
Kind of icky outside.
A little bit. Little
yeah.
Some sprinkles out this morning.
Yeah, kind of. It's just kind of misty. I mean, it wasn't a heavy downpour of rain. When you look at the radar, it didn't show a whole lot on there, but it's kind of a steady drip. I'm sure Sue Thomas is going to have her hands full this morning. Yeah, that's for sure. Zach, how are you?
Doing good.
Yeah, you hanging in there?
Yeah.
Doing a good job, my friend.
Yeah.
Day two, ready to go.
Trish is on the beach somewhere with her toes in the sand. Well, I assume she's sleeping right now.
sleeping.
But I'm just saying. I hope
or
she's
maybe
sleeping.
just now going to bed.
That could be.
If so, that was a good night.
I texted with her yesterday. She admitted that she was having fun, so that's a good thing.
Good. She should.
I had to bother her while she was vacationing to get a little bit of information. I hate to do that. I really do. As hard as she works, when she's not here, she shouldn't have to deal with show stuff. But she had a contact that I needed. I had to reach out and say, listen, put the beer down, pick the phone up,
I
and
just
find
need a number.
this number for me, and then go back to what you were doing. Resume your relaxation. That's kind of what it gets down to. Yeah, I don't know where this whole Mueller thing is going. You know, I thought kudos to our friend Annie Fry, because she spent a good portion of her show yesterday kind of breaking down this Russia investigation, and it was refreshing to hear, because she went through it methodically. I was very proud of her. She did a great job. And it's funny because last night I watched Hannity, and Hannity had Greg Jarrett and Sarah Carter and some other people on the show, and they were talking about many of the same points that Annie made during her show yesterday, which just shows you that there are many sources you can go to find out the truth about what's going on with this investigation. Here's the strange thing that it all comes down to. I think the key to this entire Mueller investigation comes down to Bruce Orr and his wife, who worked for Fusion GPS, who worked for the folks putting together the fake dossier, and I believe that dossier got back into the hands of the FBI, not through the roundabout way in which John McCain ended up bringing it back, but I think it went directly, information sourced in that document went directly to the Department of Justice through this Bruce Orr guy. Mm-hmm. And that's just rotten. That something stinks. And if you go back and look at the, and Annie did her research. She was up till 3 o'clock yesterday morning looking through this stuff. If you go back and look at even New York Times coverage of the Russia investigation until September of 2016, so a month before the election, right? When they truly believe there's no way Hillary Clinton could lose, the New York Times posted an article saying, the Russian investigation, sources say the Russian investigation has certainly turned up that they tried to influence media and stuff like that, but it didn't influence. It's basically due to the conclusion that they were just trying to dabble in the system, and there was no indication at all that anything they were doing was going to change the outcome of the election. So at that point, they were willing to wash their hands of it and say, we know it's happening, but it's okay. Don't worry. Everything's going to be fine. Suddenly, Trump loses or wins and Hillary loses. And what happens? Suddenly, it's a catastrophe.
Now, it did have an
As
impact.
our friend Alcee Hastings pointed out yesterday, the difference between a crisis and a catastrophe. Remember what he said?
What did he say?
Our joke that he told yesterday, the Democrat who told the joke, he said,
"Oh yeah."
He said if Donald Trump falls off a boat into the river, that's a crisis.
Mm-hmm.
If you pull his out, it's a catastrophe.
Beep
beep. Yeah. Anyway, that the whole thing gets back to that, and I'm telling you, this Bruce Orr is going to get dragged before the House or Senate committee this week, a congressional committee. And I think we're going to find out a whole lot more about this coming up in the next week or so. And all it does is further damage the credibility of a Mueller investigation based on allegations of collusion, of which there's zero evidence so far, and a whole lot of bank fraud that happened years before anybody was involved in the election. And that at some point, they have to hold their hands up and say, okay, we're done. We didn't find anything. We found a few people committed tax fraud or whatever the hell it was, but it had anything to do with collusion. It's going to get ugly. This Papadopoulos guy, I think he's going to withdraw his plea. Things are falling apart around Mueller. 314-241-9797. Got a great show for you today, folks. Let me tell you what. We'll have Todd Starnes up before the end of the hour. Dr. Randy Tobler, who's in Florida, apparently, for some gender thing. I'm going to have to find out when we get a hold of him later. and Cassie Smedley.
He's going to want clarification on that comment, I have a feeling.
He's going to want clarification. He needs to clarify exactly what that is. Cassie Smedley is going to join us. Jay Ashcroft, Secretary of State, is going to be here at 8:10. And I'm excited about that because yesterday he announced that his office is looking into this St. Charles County election mess where a polling place wasn't open for an hour and a half. And, the gentleman who that was his home polling place lost by like a handful of votes. And we had him on the show, Mr. Cooper. And before these results get certified, they needed somebody to step in and say, we're going to take another look at this because could it have changed the outcome of the election? So we'll get the Secretary of State on here and talk about that. And among other things, what I want to talk to him about is this situation in St. Louis County where we're now going to have somebody elected as the county prosecutor with no Republican opposition, no ability now for anybody to change the outcome of this because the Republicans opted not to run anybody. Is it time for an open primary system in Missouri? That's the question here. Why should you have to go in and pick a Republican or a Democrat ballot? Because a lot of people might have been able to go in and vote for McCullough in the primary had they realized what was going on. Maybe the key there is nobody really knew. I didn't pay that much attention to this Wesley Bell character.
No.
And then he up and wins out of nowhere. Now there's no opposition. And McCullough can't even act as a write-in candidate. Right. So it's a bit of a mess. Anyway, we've got to Jay Ashcroft coming up, so I'm looking forward to that. I'll get to your phone calls as well, 314-241-9797. But first, our national anthem.
Please
97.1 News Time, 5:20. It's 70 degrees. I'm Denise Schaefer, and here are a few of the local stories we're following this morning. St. Charles County joins a nationwide lawsuit to fight against the opioid epidemic. Police have opened an investigation into a deadly crash in Berkeley that involved police officers. 4 U.S. Army helicopters were forced to make emergency landings in the St. Louis area due to storms on Monday. In sports, the Cardinals beat the Dodgers 5-3 last night. 97.1 News Time, 5:20.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Traffic looks pretty good at this hour. There's kind of a mist falling, not really rain, but a little bit of moisture, so just take it easy. Things are pretty quiet on the Poplar Street Bridge right now, and no delays on northbound 270 at 44, so we're off to a nice start. We'll keep you posted. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 5:20.
This is the Long-Term Care Minute. According to the Department of Veterans Affairs, of the 16 million veterans who served during World War II, less than 558,000 are still alive. To make things worse, many of them now need long-term care. With the average cost of nursing home care approaching $7,000 monthly, we wondered, what should veterans do? For some advice on this, we called on long-term care expert and best-selling author Don Quante. So Don, what should our veterans do?
Well, quite simply, we recommend our veterans get a free copy of my book, Tax-Free Money for Long-Term Care, where they will learn about a little-known veterans benefit that may allow them to receive up to $26,000 a year tax-free to pay for long-term care. Give me a call right now. The next 30 listeners will get a free copy of my book.
That sounds great, Don. Just call 800-256-1607. That's 800-256-1607. This has been the Long-Term Care Minute.
Honey, it's time. We can't put it off another year. If you've heard this from your spouse lately, then you've probably spent some time outside lamenting the condition of your home. Unattractive siding, old drafty windows. If you can't stand another season with these, call Banner Construction today. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor, which means we have the expertise to properly install top quality James Hardie fiber cement siding on any home. When you hire Banner, you're not just purchasing products. You're investing in 25 years of home improvement expertise with a company that cares about the final result. Banner also installs James Hardie's Beechworth windows. Beechworth windows are beautiful wood windows with maintenance-free exteriors. Compare to Marvin, Pella, or Renewal by Andersen, and you'll see that Beechworth has the best features from each brand, all in one incredible window. Don't put it off another day. Call Banner Construction at 314-569-1050. And have a banner day. Call 314-569-1050.
Every day.
Go into the Situation Room to record.
If we make this a friendly departure.
You guys wanted me to leave. I fear no man.
Your world.
Members of the church.
There's a lot of corruption.
Child sex abuse.
In the U.S. Catholic Church.
Your voice.
Paul Manafort has been charged with conspiracy.
I believe the government has failed to meet their burden of proof.
FM News Talk 97.1.
We're not going to make America great again. It was never that great.
Younger, smarter, better.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app. Available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
Marc Cox. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797. This is the Marc Cox Morning Show. Follow Marc on Twitter.
I got your blue state right here, baby.
Well, that was abrupt. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Absolutely. How about that? CBS News pollster, the head pollster for the CBS News, said that Democrats expecting a blue wave to take over the House and more in November's midterm elections. It's not looking good. So this CBS pollster, Anthony Salvanto, explained his methodology, right, for tracking the 2016 presidential election, considered one of the biggest upsets in electoral history, and how those lessons apply for the coming season. So after studying those exit polls, he's determined that he saw what was happening. Hillary Clinton was losing ground. Voters who hadn't cast ballots were not likely to vote for her. Salvanto delivered the verdict. This is a contested race. So now he's saying, based on that perspective and relying on the lessons of 2016, he thinks in the midterm, you have to watch each congressional seat. Don't pay attention to national numbers. And the CBS News Battleground Tracker has a panel of 5,700 registered voters with the majority in the districts that are highly contested. That poll indicates that few House seats will change parties in November, with the GOP likely holding its majority in the House. Right now, I think this election looks like a toss-up. So this is the guy from CBS. Now, a lot of these pollsters are on a little bit of the defensive because they got their clocks cleaned in 2016.
Right.
Because they all expected
the credibility's in
yeah.
question.
And, you know, I mean, the point then was there were there a group of people out there who planned to support Trump all along, but because of some of the negative aspects of his candidacy, the fact that if you said you supported him, people labeled you an ist or a phobe or whatever the case may be.
So if you got the phone call or if you got something, you were just like...
Just not telling the truth.
Yep, not being honest.
Yeah. And I think...
What do you have to gain by being honest about it anyway?
Yeah. I've often wondered about that when I get calls at home. And are you likely to vote in the next election? Yeah, we'll press 1 for yes, 2 for no.
They usually catch me off guard, so I'm just like, the first thing you think of is to tell the truth, right?
Will you vote as a Republican, as a Democrat, or as an independent? It's rare that you get the option of conservative. That's rare to find, that you find that's usually not an option in most of those polls. And then you have to wonder because it's all an information game these days. So if you give somebody that information about yourself, there's a good chance it's going to be sold to somebody else. So last night I noticed the Republican Congressional Committee or something phoning in. I was sitting there watching Hannity, and I saw it pop up on my television screen.
Somebody was
calling. The National
Republican
Congressional Committee or something was calling, wanting a donation. I ignored it. But
I've already had people at my door. Josh Hawley.
You did?
Yeah,
that's right.
Josh Hawley people dropped off like a door hanger.
Well, that's a good sign, though. I'm glad to see that, frankly. There was a poll out maybe this weekend, and certainly Friday, that showed that Hawley versus McCaskill, Hawley has a slight lead right now. Nobody should get comfortable about that, right? Like the 2016 election, whether you were unhappy with what happened in the primary or not, you have to keep your eye now on the ball. You have to keep your eye on the long-term goal, which is scoring a touchdown and defeating Claire McCaskill. Anybody but Claire McCaskill is going to be better in that seat than Claire McCaskill. If you agree that Brett Kavanaugh needs to be the next Supreme Court justice, if you agree that we need more border security, if you agree that somebody's got to go up to Washington and at least try to address the overspending we do on a regular basis, somebody's got to go up there and defend religious liberty, Claire McCaskill is not an option. And I'm encouraged that somebody is out canvassing on behalf of Hawley, even if you have a no soliciting sign on your door. She's mad about that. I can't believe they knocked on my door. I have a no soliciting sign.
You're like, I hate those signs. I'm like, well, then don't come to my door.
Signs everywhere, signs. I'm sorry. Somebody knocked on my door for McCaskill the other day.
Okay.
In West County.
Did you open it?
I did. I was friendly. I said, she tried to hand me the literature. I'm like, you can just keep that. Go put it in the bottom of your birdcage or something. This is the wrong house to come to, lady.
Or you just could have invited her in and let her put it in the birdcage herself.
I should have. Would you step in here for a moment? She probably thought I was an axe murderer.
About here.
All right, I got to run. 314-241-9797. We'll be right back.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
changeable skies on this Tuesday with a mix of clouds and sunshine. At times the sun will be out, at other times completely cloudy. High temperatures near 80, so a lot of the afternoon, think in the 70s. Tonight, clear skies, nice evening, nice overnight, 65 for the low. On Wednesday, partly sunny and 80. Thursday, sunshine and 80. Not bad at all. I'm Fox 2 meteorologist Dave Murray for FM News Talk 97.1.
From the Fox Business Network, the Trump administration is close to imposing tariffs on nearly half of Chinese imports. The Wall Street Journal says the tariffs are opposed by most U.S. businesses. The administration is starting a fresh round of talks between the U.S. and China to settle the trade dispute. Some of Tesla's suppliers are expressing concerns about getting paid. The Wall Street Journal says a well-regarded auto supplier association sent a survey to top executives and found 18 of 22 in the industry believe Tesla is a financial risk to their companies. Facebook and NYU's School of Medicine are working on speeding up MRIs. The tests can take more than an hour. The two have a research partnership to see if artificial intelligence can make MRI scans up to 10 times faster. The Dow was up 89 yesterday. NASDAQ added 4. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology actively invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you, the needle in the haystack.
Try ZipRecruiter now for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/hire. That's ZipRecruiter.com/hire.
Fox Business, brought to you by Fisher Window and Door Store, your dealer for Marvin Windows and Doors in the St. Louis region. FisherWindow.com. Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
We have an accident this morning, eastbound 70 approaching the Rock Road, and it looks like the right lanes are blocked. Traffic is stacking up behind that. Not a serious heavy rain, but we do have a little bit of mist this morning. Just kind of take it easy. Still quiet on the Poplar Street Bridge at this hour and all quiet through North County. We'll keep you posted. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 5:32.
Watch the Marc Cox Show live on the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox. Log on to our website or use your mobile device to join the daily live stream and watch the show. It's the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox.
When the need for senior care arises, there's no place like home. Your loved ones should never have to give up living at home. Visiting Angels will provide home care for your mom or dad at home up to 24 hours per day, including personal care, meals, and light housework. You'll select your professional caregiver with Visiting Angels. Look up visitingangels.com or call 877-374-LIVE. That's 877-374-LIVE. Franchises are available. Visiting Angels, America's choice in senior home care.
When it comes to maintaining our vehicles, we all know to change the oil. But did you know cleaning the fuel system is just as important? Even high-quality fuel can leave behind carbon deposits, robbing your engine of power and fuel economy. Gum Out has a solution. Regain Complete Fuel System Cleaner. Regain contains polyetheramine, a nitrogen-based detergent that safely removes deposits to help restore engine performance. Get a bottle of Regain today for just $4.94 at your local Walmart. Gum Out. Science in, perform it out.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Brooklinen Bedding. It's brooklinen.com. So one of the things I talk about a lot with my live endorsement clients is sort of being in the bullseye, sort of being in that center area of the Venn diagram. And that's certainly the way it is with Brooklinen. They were just named the fastest growing bedding company. They have the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval. They have like 15,000 5-star reviews. So they sell a lot of bedding. Yet it is ran like a very small company because it is a married couple that own the company. So they're very old school in the way they treat their employees, in the way they do business. Some of the other companies they compete with mark up their bedding as much as 300%. With Brooklinen, you get the very best bedding at a fraction of the price. Get $20 off and free shipping when you use promo code Glover at brooklinen.com. That's $20 off and free shipping when you use Glover at brooklinen.com.
Dave Glover
The Catholic Church needs to do the biggest house cleaning of all time. Hundreds fired, excommunicated.
Dave Glover, weekdays at 3 on FM News Talk 97.1. Marc Cox. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797. This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Politicians that get up and say that our country was never great. You heard that. I think that's the end of that career.
Yeah, probably not in Not So New York. Remember, they've got a socialist mayor in the city of New York. Socialist. They just elected a socialist, or about to the House up there. A bartender who doesn't have any idea what the hell's going on in the Middle East or what socialism really is or how the economy works. And they've got Andrew Cuomo as the governor who doesn't think America was ever great, but apparently the electorate agrees with him. So I don't think the president's probably off base there a little bit on that one. I think that he's a little too worried about that. So I'm gonna talk a little more about this in a minute when we get our guest on. He's Todd Starnes of Fox News Radio. But right now I feel like I need to point something out. Let me tell you what happened yesterday at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. I'm not a Tar Heels fan because of my basketball love of the University of Kentucky. I'll tell you my stated bias against that university going in. They cheated like hell in college basketball for a long time. They let their people their players take online basket weaving courses that didn't exist, gave them credit for it, and somehow kept them on the court playing, yet they didn't have to surrender any of those victories or national championships or anything covering that whole period. So they got away with murder. But that's beside the point.
Okay.
Yesterday, this happened on the campus of the University of North Carolina. The radicals were allowed to tear down a granite and steel statue that somehow offended their sensibilities. Hold on. Where are we here?
You good?
That is my fault, Zach, because I was afraid something was going to play here.
The STEM statue, a familiar and controversial landmark on UNC's campus, stands no more. Protesters brought down the statue on the campus since 1913, a memorial to alumni killed in the Civil War. As it toppled, some say a piece of history fell. But for these protesters, it was victory years in the making.
People power! People power!
From closing the main street through campus to stomping the toppled statue, protesters hope their actions tonight lead to a more inclusive and diverse campus.
Oh, it's going to be a more inclusive and diverse campus because our snowflake won't be offended as we walk across campus and see this. Is this the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard? Zach, yeah. I think we need a soapbox intro here. Can you hit that for me? I know you got that up there somewhere.
Yep. Now, Marc Cox Soapbox.
Hey, I got a little message for you snowflakes out there as you watch this display there in North Carolina and you applaud it. Guess what? It's not about the statue. These people don't seem to understand this. The leftists behind this movement, they were all carrying Antifa signs and all of this crap. They have their own separate agenda here, and it has nothing to do with a granite monument with a statue on top of it and some engraving in the base that's been there for 105 years. Just bear that in mind. It was placed there by students on that campus for a specific reason. And here's the thing. If every Confederate monument and battlefield in the United States disappeared tomorrow, it wouldn't be enough for this group of left-wing nut jobs. That's not the goal. This is a political effort to silence people who dare to disagree with their point of view. It's no different than people being confronted at a restaurant in New York City or Washington, D.C. because they have a different political opinion than you do. These fascists want to shut down free speech. They're tolerant, but only if they agree with you. It's the tolerant left. But if you disagree with them, watch out. They're going to put a lasso around you and topple you over. They go by many names. They go by Antifa and all these others. I think probably the word Bolshevik would fit best. Remember that? The Soviet, the people that founded the Soviet Union, the Socialist Democratic Workers' Party, the Bolsheviks. They didn't want anybody having anything to say about anything. They wanted to shut you down, and they continued to do it with an ironclad grip over the Soviet Union for years and years and years and years until Ronald Reagan brought that nonsense to a halt. Listen to the reason this monument was put up 105 years ago. Just listen.
Behind me, you see what remains of the Silent Sam statue, with the police vehicles and many police officers now guarding what is left of that statue tonight. We take you through the video of when it came down, which was at 9:20 this evening. And as Silent Sam came down, protesters kicked and threw dirt on the statue as it was down. This is a statue, as Deb mentioned, that was raised and dedicated in 1913 as a monument to Confederate soldiers, many of whom came from UNC. 40% of the student body actually went into the Civil War. Some of them actually fought for the North. Most of them fought for the South. It was the largest contingent from any university in the United States.
So the statue was put up to honor students on the university who exercised their right at the time, in context of history, at the time of a civil war, to go onto a battlefield. They went onto the battlefield for both sides, for the North and for the South. This particular statue was put up in memory of the students who went off to war and never returned, who happened to fight for the Confederacy. Now, I guess my question for this bunch of spoiled, rotten brats running amok on the campus of the University of North Carolina is, by that statue not standing there every day when you walk by it, just out of interest, did it change the course of the Civil War? Did it change anything about the history that so dramatically offends you because you had to tear down a statue that is a piece of history? Message to you: the Confederates lost that war. The North prevailed. The Union was saved. And the United States is the greatest power for good in the world. What the hell offends you so much about a statue that's 105 years old? What is it about that has any relevance in today's society? Explain that to me. These are people who want to erase history that they don't like, and it doesn't change anything. Their life is no different today than it was yesterday. Just because that statue's been pulled up. Oh, let them beat their chest. You know who's to blame here in large part? It was the same thing at the University of Louisville, in Louisville, Kentucky. The same thing at the University of Missouri, just down the street here in Columbia. The same thing in the city of St. Louis. It's spineless elected officials who let this garbage go on because they think they're going to win a political point with a bunch of anarchists. That's all it is. Period. End of discussion. The crap that happened on the campus of the University of Missouri that led to the largest decline in the history of that university. They've got dorms down there sitting empty because kids aren't choosing to go to that school because of what happened there a couple years ago. Because they saw a university so wrapped up in political correctness, it didn't even have the strength of its own convictions to stand up and say, this is wrong. We're not bending to your will just because one of you've decided to go on a hunger strike. This is wrong. The University of North Carolina had cops standing by, watching while these idiots toppled this statue. They could have stopped it at any time. And this is the thing about it. It wasn't a huge crowd. It wasn't. There were 50, 75 people out there at this. The police could have stepped in at any point and stopped this, but they didn't want to because the administration at this university agreed with what happened. They allowed this to happen. Lyda Crewson allowed the Confederate monuments and statues in Forest Park to be vandalized and eventually removed because she thought she might win favor with the same group of idiots who then went and vandalized her house during the Jason Stockley protest. It's an exercise in futility, but the left refuses to do anything to shut these idiots down. It's a shame. It's a crying shame because, again, it's not about the statues. Nothing changes. The people that tore down the statues in Forest Park didn't even know they existed till somebody pointed it out because they paid no attention in history class. That's the key point here. These people are anarchists. They call themselves anti-fascists. They are the fascists. They want to shut down any point of view they disagree with. And until the rest of us stand up and say, no more, go back to your corner and do your drop and flop at home, this kind of crap continues. I'll get to your phone calls. 314-241-9797. Todd Starnes coming up.
.97.1 News Time, 5:47. It's 70 degrees. I'm Denise Schaefer, and here are a few of the local stories we're following this morning. Missouri Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft is investigating why a polling place in O'Fallon opened late in the primary election earlier this month. Police have opened an investigation into a deadly crash in Berkeley that involved police officers. 4 U.S. Army helicopters were forced to make emergency landings in the St. Louis metro area due to storms on Monday. The father of a man killed in a St. Louis police shooting has filed a wrongful death lawsuit. In sports, the Cardinals beat the Dodgers 5-3 last night. They play tonight at 9:10. This report brought to you by the Detox and Treatment Helpline. Addiction is a disease. Get courage, get help. Insurance may cover the cost. Call 800-430-4149, 800-430-4149. 97.1 News Time, 5:47. It's 70 degrees.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Well, we've got an accident this morning, eastbound 70 approaching the Rock Road, and the right lanes are blocked through there. That's really our main issue at this hour. We've got just the beginnings of some volume westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge. Northbound 270, though, still looking good at 44, and eastbound 6440, still a good run into downtown. Watch out, a little bit of mist this morning. Not soaking wet roads, but just a little bit of moisture. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 5:48.
This hour brought to you by Lance Drury Law. IRS problems? Call local attorney Lance Drury for legal help. 314-260-6120 or go to lancedrurylaw.com.
Do you have sleep apnea but can't make your CPAP machine work for you? Clayton Sleep Institute can help. We treat many patients who compromise their health because they don't use their CPAP or use it less than they should. Our sleep specialists know all the new technologies and work with you to identify issues, map a plan for change, and support you so you can achieve CPAP success. Don't ignore your health. Let the Clayton Sleep experts help make CPAP work for you. Call us at 314-645-5855.
If you have retirement questions, you can bet Marvin Mitchell probably has the answer. Join him every Saturday at 4 and Sunday at 1 for Rethinking Retirement. With his years of experience, Marvin can help take the guesswork out of your retirement planning. Rethinking Retirement is your source for all things retirement, from how current events could affect your savings to strategies to maximize your retirement income and everything in between. Don't miss Rethinking Retirement with Marvin Mitchell every Saturday at 4 and Sunday at 1.
Do you enjoy relaxing outside in the fresh air?
Then call Deck and Patio Living and turn your backyard into an extended living area. With Deck and Patio Living, there's no hassle scheduling multiple contractors. Deck and Patio Living is your ultimate backyard dream team. They handle every aspect of your project, from stunning patio pavers to fabulous outdoor kitchens, pergolas, and fireplaces. For a free design consultation, call 314-890-2222. Make your backyard dreams come true. Call 890-2222.
Watch the Marc Cox Show live on the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox. Log on to our website or use your mobile device to join the daily live stream and watch the show. It's the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox.
This hour brought to you by Lance Drury Law. IRS problems? Call local attorney Lance Drury for legal help. 314-260-6120 or go to lancedrurylaw.com.
Turn it up!
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Somebody save your soul, cause you've been sinning in the city. I know too many troubles, all these lovers got you losing control. You like a drug to me, a luxury, my sugar and gold. I want the good life every good night, you're a hot one to hold.
I'm looking at this like it's game day, people. But do not worry, because at this game, you guys are allowed to kneel. You can do whatever the hell you want. There's no old white man that can stop you. Do it.
Can I just say something?
Please do.
Shut up and be funny. Can I just say that to Kevin Hart and these other people who feel like when they have an open mic at an awards ceremony in California, they have to make a horse's ass out of themselves? I'm a big fan of Kevin Hart. He's one of my son's favorite comedians. And I liked the Will Ferrell movie he did, Get Hard or whatever it was called. I've enjoyed watching some of his stand-up. I think he's a funny little man. But now I think that he is a petulant, stupid little man, and I'll never pay to see one of his stupid movies or comedies again. I mean, honestly, do it on your own time. People don't watch those award ceremonies to hear your opinion. Go get the Kevin Hart Show on radio and give us your opinion. And then people can choose if they want to tune in or not. People didn't tune in last night to hear Kevin Hart try to diss the President of the United States on this whole kneeling controversy in the NFL. Again, what the left doesn't get here is the ratings for the NFL sucked the last couple of years since this whole thing started. And did you see what John Elway said this week?
What did he say?
Who, by the way, just let me point this out. John Elway when did that dude get old? Like, I haven't aged at all, but I'm looking at this guy, and he's looking, I'm like, that can't be John Elway. I saw this picture of him.
I'll just look up a recent
Look at the gray hair. That dude looks old.
Oh, he's been gray for a while.
I'm just kidding. I'm just tongue in cheek. Elway comes out this week and says that they offered Kaepernick an opportunity to come to Denver, and he turned them down, which would lead one to believe that this is a little bit of an engineered controversy. Now, I can't believe somebody would sacrifice. Maybe he's got enough millions in the bank that he doesn't care anymore. But
he's probably going to he's getting more attention for this stuff than he would if he were playing.
Right. I know. It's sad.
The Kevin Hart thing, though, I'm surprised. I didn't even realize the MTV. Like, I don't have I don't have access to MTV. I don't pay for it, so I didn't even know it was going on until I got a news alert on my phone that Kevin Hart had said something about the president. I was like,
it was the first of many. Several other people made comments about the little digs about the wall and this and that thing.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing: MTV is not relevant to us, to the people that listen to this program. They don't watch MTV. I'm guessing. I could be wrong. Let me venture out on a limb here, Zach.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to reveal your age on the radio, but you would be of the generation that might watch MTV or the MTV Awards. Do you watch the MTV Awards?
No.
Do you watch MTV?
No.
Okay, good. That renews my faith in you, and I'm guessing my friend Brian sitting in the other room feels the same way, if I had to guess.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. It's not it's an award ceremony, but they stopped doing music videos in the 1990s, and I haven't watched it since then. I'm not quite sure what they're even honoring. It's not. Do they still do videos? It's the Video Music Awards.
Mm-hmm. They still do videos, but I don't think people watch them on MTV. Like you YouTube it, right?
Yeah, it's nothing like how anyone remembers MTV.
Yeah, now if you want to see a video, like you're looking for the song or whatever, and like the video happens to pop up on YouTube, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I'll watch the video or something.
Dun, 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 dun. You'll never look at music the same way again. Remember, I
feel like
that.
I kind of pay attention to pop culture and stuff like that too. And half the time I see these names, I'm like, who is that? And I have 2 young kids that listen to these songs, and I'm like, I still can't keep up.
Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, Kevin Hart ruined it for me last night. I really want to like that guy, but now I'm not going to be able to do it. And why he felt like he needed to do that, I have no idea. But he's ruined it for me. That really kind of saddens me a little bit. The more I've gone back and looked at the Al Sharpton video, where Al Sharpton misspelled the word respect from Aretha, trying to pay honor to Aretha Franklin, and he goes RESPICT.
Yes.
The more I look at that, the more I think it was staged, because Al hadn't had any headlines in a while.
Needed some attention.
No, I do. I think that because even if you're not smart enough to read a teleprompter, which clearly Al struggles with sometimes, we know that. I'm not saying anything negative. There's plenty of evidence that Al struggles with reading a teleprompter.
Hey, Republicans!
I'm just saying. I believe that if you're a fan of Aretha Franklin and you've heard that song and sang it enough, how the hell could you look into a television camera and misspell it?
Mm-hmm.
Because those are the words of the song. You have it? Hit it.
So in the words of my late friend Aretha Franklin, show some RESPICT.
I just
I'm
don't know.
not sure that's the kind
know.
of attention I would want to have, but
Are you stupid?
I don't know. That's the Reverend Al for you. There you have it. 314-241-9797. What say you? Give us a call. We'll talk about it. We missed our Todd Starnes. Maybe we will get him next week. Maybe he's on vacation. I don't know. Randy Tobler coming up in the next hour, doing some gender thing down in Florida. We're going to find out what that's all about. We'll be right back.
We know school started or is just around the corner. And as a parent, you may already have noticed that may not be the right place for your child. We understand changing schools at this point can sound daunting. But Christian Academy of Greater St. Louis is here for you. The friendly environment is what every parent wants for their child. The academics are phenomenal, not to mention the special attention each student gets from their teachers. And our students will gladly tell you.
Hi, I'm a senior at CA. Last year, our basketball team won the conference and state championship. At CA, they give you plenty of opportunities to become a great leader. The teachers really care, and I can't wait to see you at my school.
Accredited, affordable, private education. Call 314-429-7070 to schedule a tour today, or go online at cagsl.org. Mention this ad to have a registration fee waived. Call today, 314-429-7070, or go online at cagsl.org. Christian Academy of Greater St. Louis. We go beyond.
Are you nearing retirement and wondering if you can afford to retire? Are you worried that you won't have enough income in retirement to live the same lifestyle as you are now? Are you also wondering how the stock market will affect your current retirement plans? This is Thomas Helbig of the Retirement Advisory Group, and we'd like to show you the kind of income your retirement accounts can provide, whether you're retiring now or even in the next 5 years. Call me now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation financial review. We'll build your own personalized structured income plan that will show you exactly the type of retirement you can count on. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of my best-selling book, The Boomer's Guide to a Worry-Free Retirement. I've been helping retirees and pre-retirees achieve a worry-free retirement for 31 years. Call me now at 314-993-9494 or visit us online at retirementkey.com. Once again, that's 314-993-9494 or online at retirementkey.com.
KFTK FM Florissant, KFTK AM East St. Louis, K254CR St. Louis.
The Marc Cox Show, brought to you by Thomas Helbig, the official St. Louis financial advisor of The Marc Cox Show.
Find everything Marc Cox at 971talk.com/Cox. FM News Talk, 97.1.
A radio.com station.
They're at it again. I'm Chris Foster. Fox News. A group tied to the Russian government is accused of creating websites made to look like conservative think tanks. More from Fox's Tanya J. Powers in New York.
Chris, Microsoft says two conservative groups, the Hudson Institute and the International Republican Institute, were targeted. This comes just weeks after a similar discovery by Microsoft-led Senator Claire McCaskill, a Democrat who's running for re-election in Missouri, to reveal that Russian hackers tried to infiltrate her Senate computer network. The hacking attempts are more like the ones that came before the 2016 election, but this time, more than helping one political party over another, Microsoft says it was focused on, quote, disrupting democracy. Chris?
Tanya, thanks. A former Nazi guard living in New York City is sent back to Germany.
The White House sending out a statement early Tuesday saying that Immigration and Customs Enforcement has deported Shaki Palij, a 95-year-old former Nazi labor camp guard. The White House says Palij lied about being a Nazi and has stayed in the U.S. since 1949. He had been leading a quiet life in Queens, New York until 2001, when he admitted to officials at the Justice Department that he trained with the Nazis. He was to be deported, but no other country would take him. The Trump administration says they negotiated with Germany to take him after he was kicked out of the U.S. Jill Nato, Fox News.
President Trump's former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort's waiting for a verdict in his financial crimes trial in Virginia.
Jurors worked later into the evening than usual, but did not reach a verdict. Deliberations will resume this morning. Defense attorneys for Paul Manafort believe the lengthy deliberations are good for their client, and Manafort thinks it was a very good day.
Fox's Jared Halpern. State television in Iran has shown video of what's claimed to be a new all-Iranian-made fighter jet, with President Hassan Rouhani briefly sitting in the cockpit. It's not independently verified the plane was actually made there. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Let's go inside the mind of a 10-year-old.
I should have worn those earrings today. I like those earrings. Gabby has those awesome earrings. I need to ask her where she got those, but that's just what she would want me to do. I'll have Michaela ask her for me.
Buckle up, Sarah.
Yeah, but then Michaela will be like, why don't you just ask her yourself? That's just like Michaela.
Sarah, buckle up.
Michaela's such a great name. I wish I was called Michaela. There's like a dozen Sarahs in my class.
Hey, we're not hitting the road until you buckle up, honey.
Oh yeah, seatbelt. I forget sometimes because my brain is like busy, you know? I wonder if there's pizza at school today.
Sometimes it can be tough to get through to your kids, but it's not impossible. Always make sure they're wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Remember, you have the keys, you have the power. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
97.1 News Time, 6:03. I'm Denise Schaefer. Here's the official forecast from Fox 2's Dave Murray. Partly cloudy today. We'll have a high around 80. Mostly clear, nice tonight, low of 65. Then partly sunny, nice tomorrow with a high of 80. It's 70 degrees right now. Missouri Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft is investigating why a polling place in O'Fallon opened late in the primary election. He said the doors remained locked 90 minutes past opening time for the August 7th election, and the problem could have impacted the Missouri House races for both Republicans and Democrats. They were decided by less than half of 1% of the vote. St. Charles County joins a nationwide lawsuit to fight against the opioid epidemic. County Executive Steve Ellman announced they filed a lawsuit against pharmaceutical manufacturers and drug distributors for their aggressive and fraudulent marketing of prescription painkillers. About 1,000 other cities, counties, and states have filed lawsuits. 4 U.S. Army helicopters were forced to make emergency landings in the St. Louis area due to storms on Monday. The pilots were on a training exercise and heading to Connecticut from California. 2 helicopters landed at Sparta Community Airport, 1 landed at Festus Memorial Airport, and a 4th landed on an empty parking lot of a restaurant in Festus. The father of a man killed in a St. Louis police shooting has filed a wrongful death lawsuit. The federal lawsuit alleges that 18-year-old Mansour Balbay was unarmed in the August 2015 shooting when he was shot in the back as he ran. Dennis Balbay is suing the city, former police chief Sam Dodson, and officers Ronald Vaughn and Kyle Chandler. Prosecutors did not charge the officers following an investigation. This report brought to you by Mattress Direct. 97.1 News Time 6:04. It's 70 degrees. In sports, the Cardinals beat the Dodgers 5-3 in Los Angeles last night. Jose Martinez hit a solo home run in the first, and Jed Jerko and Matt Carpenter both homered in the ninth. It was Carpenter's National League leading 34th home run of the season. Starter Austin Gomber gave up 2 runs and 5 hits in 5 innings. The Cards and Dodgers play Game 2 of their series tonight at 9:10. This report brought to you by Brenton Vision. Marc Cox's choice for vision correction, 314-375-2020, brentonvision.com. 97.1 News Time 6:05. It's 70 degrees.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Well, we've got an accident this morning. It's eastbound 70 approaching the Rock Road, and it looks like the right lane is still blocked. To me, it looks like a car off the roadway, and a tow truck flatbed has just pulled up. We're going to try to get it out of that ditch. But we've got a jam behind that. Now, we also have a report of an accident headed for the McKinley Bridge this morning. So Route 3 drivers, just be aware, and we had a caller who said for a while they weren't letting you on the McKinley Bridge from Route 3 while drivers try to clear this accident. So take the Poplar, which at this hour does have some volume, but mainly it's just around the bend and across the bridge itself. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 6:06.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
Changeable skies on this Tuesday with a mix of clouds and sunshine. At times the sun will be out, at other times completely cloudy. High temperatures near 80, so a lot of the afternoon, think in the 70s. Tonight, clear skies, nice evening, nice overnight, 65 for the low on Wednesday, partly sunny and 80. Thursday, sunshine and 80. Not bad at all. I'm Fox 2 meteorologist Dave Murray for FM News Talk 97.1.
It's 6:06 and 70 degrees, and FM News Talk 97.1 is now available on radio.com. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
We know school started or is just around the corner. And as a parent, you may already have noticed that that may not be the right place for your child. We understand changing schools at this point can sound daunting. But Christian Academy of Greater St. Louis is here for you. The friendly environment is what every parent wants for their child. The academics are phenomenal, not to mention the special attention each student gets from their teachers. And our students will gladly tell you.
Hi, I'm a senior at CA. Last year, our basketball team won the conference and state championship. At CA, they give you plenty of opportunities to become a great leader. The teachers really care, and I can't wait to see you at my school.
Accredited, affordable, private education. Call 314-429-7070 to schedule a tour today, or go online at cagsl.org. Mention this ad to have a registration fee waived. Call today 314-429-7070 or go online at cagsl.org. Christian Academy of Greater St. Louis. We go beyond.
Spectrum Business is transforming how your business does business because we're increasing our starting internet speeds up to 200 megabits per second without increasing our price. Now your business can get new, faster 200 meg Spectrum Business internet, still just $44.99 a month. That's more starting speed than you'll get from other providers. And when you think about just how many devices are connected to your network, computers, printers, cell phones, and everything else using your Wi-Fi, it's just what your business needs. Finally, you can get rid of your slow internet service and start focusing on getting things done. Switch to Spectrum Business today with speed other providers can't beat at a price they can't match. Get Spectrum Business Internet now with speeds up to 200 megabits per second, still only $44.99 a month when bundled with Spectrum Business Voice for $29.99 a month. Call 877-778-0860 or visit business.spectrum.com/200 today. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
This hour, Making America Great, brought to you by Proctor Drapery, Blinds, Shades, and Shutters. Making your home great again. ProctorDrapery.com. It's Proctor, spelled like doctor.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show. Find everything Marc Cox at 971talk.com/Cox.
Webster's defines it as the body of real things, events, and facts, and the state of being the case. It's truth. It's knowable, often demonstrable, sometimes elusive, but truth is truth. Except now that phrase lives aside alternative facts in a new place unique to the current environment.
Talking to you, I have smelled alcohol on your breath.
How is Shepard Smith still on Fox? Why hasn't he been shuffled off to CNN or MSNBC?
It is kind of surprising.
He bought into that whole thing on Giuliani and was all critical of what the mayor said, the truth, because, and I honestly can't believe this, but I'm guessing that maybe Shepard only listened to the very short soundbite that the mainstream media played on that yesterday.
It's truth. I don't mean to go like... No, it isn't truth. Truth isn't truth. The President of the United States says, I didn't... Truth isn't truth. Mr. Mayor, do you realize what... No. This is going to become a bad meme. Don't do this to me.
That's the soundbite that most people in the media heard, that the newspapers all wrote about. They didn't write the full version of it, where you hear Giuliani explain what he meant, that if Comey says one thing and Trump says something else, and Mueller, who's the decider in this case, decides to believe Comey's version of the events, then that becomes the truth, whether Comey's telling the truth or not. So truth isn't always truth. It's in the eye of the beholder. In this case, it's in Mueller. And when he explains this to Chuck Todd agrees with him.
When he knew it before,
I've got the soundbite, but he wanted to play it like, oh, you've just made the greatest meme in history, blah, 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 blah. And understandably, all of the folks on the left, the usual suspects, go to Cut 21, immediately jumped all over this yesterday.
About Clinton. The meeting turned into a meeting. Which in itself, it's attempted collusion. I understand. No, it's you not. just said it. The meeting was intended to get dirt on Hillary Clinton from a Kremlin lawyer. No. That was the intention of the meeting. You just said it.
What is Giuliani doing? And why does the White House keep letting him go on TV? Because at this rate, Trump is going to wind up behind bars with Giuliani visiting him and saying, don't worry, Donald, prison isn't prison.
There's no basis in reality, because that's not what he said. Anyway, the battle we fight every day in conservative radio and conservative television against the fake news media who want to blow every little statement and controversy completely out of proportion. And Shepard Smith, shame on you. Shame on you for doing that. It's just crazy. You know, I thought about this yesterday. I've gone on at length about my position on the term fake news. And I know that a bunch of editors put a letter to the editor in the paper the other day, and they're all concerned about that this poses some risk to America. Requiring journalists to abide by the standards that they set for themselves many years ago is not asking too much. Requesting that people like CNN assign correspondents to cover the White House who tell the truth and don't interject their opinions into it like Jim Acosta on a daily basis is not asking too much. This is what irritates people about the so-called mainstream media in this country. All people want you to do is report the story, and don't try to bend it to your point of view if you're going to call yourself a journalist. And if you're not going to call yourself a journalist, then go get something called the Jim Acosta Show on CNN, like the Anderson Cooper Show or the Sean Hannity Show, and give your version of the events from your point of view. But don't go to the White House as a so-called White House correspondent or chief correspondent and stand up and tell lies. You just can't do that. And, I typically I listen to Greg Gutfeld with one eye open generally, but sometimes he makes a good point. Go to cut number 12 for me, please.
What Trump's been doing is what we've been doing for decades, sitting in front of the TV, shouting at the bias merchants, at those big networks as they delivered shoddy claims on climate change, gun control, tax cuts, and God knows what else.
He's doing the same thing that we do. It's honestly part of the appeal. He's yelling at the TV. He probably sits in the private chambers at the White House and yells at the TV. He certainly tweets at the TV, right? We know he watches things, Chris Matthews and some of these other talking heads on the left, and he tweets about it. We know that he does that, but we understand why. We do understand why. I thought this was interesting. This Eric Swalwell, he's a California Democrat. He tries to paint himself as a moderate, but not quite sure how you can be a Democrat from California and be a moderate. He's considering running for president in 2020. So they ask him, what about the poll that came out the other day that shows 57% of people who identify either as Democrats or independents who lean Democrat believe in support the idea of socialism? Go to cut 16.
I see that the Republicans have been so reckless with capitalism, that the tax cuts have gone all the way to the top, that people don't have health care security today, that I understand why people look the other way. I believe in capitalism. I believe in not redistribution, but reinvestment and rebuilding. And if we go back to that, I think people, regardless of what your party is, will believe in capitalism again. And that's something we should seek to restore once we win in November.
A well-crafted talking point, but nobody's buying. Mr. Swalwell, it's your party when you embrace socialism. It's like the guy said the other day. Maybe you need to come up with a new word for it. If socialism isn't what you're after, because the textbook definition of socialism is everything controlled by the state. Look what Hugo Chavez did down in Venezuela, and now people are starving and their economy. There's no food on the shelves. He took over all the oil fields because he felt that the resources belong to the people, right?
Right.
The redistribution of wealth doesn't work, but people understand what you're after here. They're not stupid.
You can't handle the truth.
That's kind of what it gets down to. 314-241-9797. I'll get to your phone calls. We've got Dr. Randy Tobler is actually calling us this morning from an undisclosed location in Florida. Where he's down there for some gender event. And we're going to find out what that's all about when we come back here. I don't know what he's up to. I mean, I know he's a doctor, right?
I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV.
I know he's a doctor, but we're going to have to find out what he's up to. Plus, your phone calls at 314-241-9797.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
97.1 News Time, 6:17. It's 70 degrees. I'm Denise Schaefer, and here are a few of the local stories we're following this morning. Missouri Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft is investigating why a polling place in O'Fallon opened late in the primary election earlier this month. The father of a man killed in a St. Louis police shooting has filed a wrongful death lawsuit. The Granite City School Board will meet tonight to discuss possible discipline after a controversial dance team photo shoot. In sports, the Cardinals beat the Dodgers 5-3 last night. They continue the series tonight at 9:10. This report brought to you by Lending Tree. Lending Tree can get cash with a reverse mortgage for a home equity loan. Call for details. 800-713-2779. 800-713-2779. 97.1 News Time, 6:18. It's 70 degrees.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Traffic brought to you by Meineke Car Care Centers, and we still have this accident blocking the right lane. It is eastbound 70 near the Rock Road. It's a car off the roadway, and they're trying to get that out of a ditch to the tow truck to get out of the way. So we've got a jam behind that this morning. Now, the McKinley Bridge is closed, and thank you to the 97.1 caller who called me to tell me about this. We had a report of a police incident on the bridge earlier. Then there's an accident on Route 3 approaching the bridge, and they've shut down the bridge for a while. So the McKinley Bridge, inaccessible at this hour, and just moderate volume on the Poplar Street Bridge. So if you are headed in from Illinois, That's your best bet right now. Also, the beginnings of some volume on northbound 270, a little bit at Big Bend and also at Manchester. With services from oil change to brake repair, the team at Meineke has you covered. And right now, get a basic oil change for only $19.95. Meineke, on with life. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 6:19.
I always love telling you about my friends Rick and Tracy Ellis because if you're looking to buy or sell a home, I know they are going to take excellent care of you. I'm just confident that Rick and Tracy will get your home sold at the best price and help you find a new home that's just perfect for you. They have so many great listings, including a new one that I just was looking at this morning in Chesterfield. It's gorgeous. It's a 5-bedroom, 5-bathroom house at 1123 Cabin View Court. It's got a pool. It was built in 2001, and it's more than 4,300 square feet. It's being sold for $785,000. You've got to go to TracyEllis.com, see the pictures of this beautiful Chesterfield home, and take a look at all of their other great properties. Also, make sure you take advantage of their great offer. For the rest of August, Rick and Tracy are offering to get your home sold for a 5% commission. No matter what your price range, whatever type of property you're looking for, whether it's in the St. Louis area, the Lake of the Ozarks, even into Illinois, the Rick and Tracy Ellis team is the team you want on your side. And when it comes to marketing, nobody does it better. When you work with Rick and Tracy, your home will be marketed to the largest possible audience. Make sure you listen to the Rick and Tracy Ellis Show right here on FM News Talk 97.1, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday mornings at 10. That's the Rick and Tracy Ellis team with Keller Williams Chesterfield. Go to TracyEllis.com.
Gateway Area Accurate Dealers Summer Performance Event has finally arrived. Drive home a new 2018 MDX for $13,000 less than a BMW X5. GatewayAreaAccurateDealers.com. MDX MSRP $44,200. Dealers set their own price. Destination and handling are extra.
Kevin and Dave here from Mentality, St. Louis. Dave, what are the most common benefits your patients tell you they feel from low T treatment?
The first thing they notice is the energy. Start having the zest to get back into action with work, the family, being involved in their communities. And then after that, they start to notice how they feel and look better when they go to the gym and work out.
What I love about testosterone treatment being covered by insurance in our St. Louis Mentality office, it puts cost of care within reach of every guy. To find out more, go to lowtusa.com.
You are now. Are you also wondering how the stock market will affect your current retirement plans? This is Thomas Helbig of the Retirement Advisory Group, and we'd like to show you the kind of income your retirement accounts can provide, whether you're retiring now or even in the next 5 years. Call me now at 314-993-9494 for a no-cost, no-obligation financial review. We'll build your own personalized structured income plan that will show you exactly the type of retirement you can count on. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of my best-selling book, The Boomer's Guide to a Worry-Free Retirement. I've been helping retirees and pre-retirees achieve a worry-free retirement for 31 years. Call me now at 314-993-9494 or visit us online at retirementkey.com. Once again, that's 314-993-9494 or online at retirementkey.com.
Get started on your home's to-do list. Is your siding cracked, faded, and rotting? Tired of putting a Band-Aid on your home? Now, through August 31st, Lakeside Exteriors is offering you 18 months interest-free financing or free entry door with the purchase of siding, soffit, and fascia. Give your home the facelift it deserves from professionals you know and trust. And call Lakeside Exteriors at 636-978-5000 or visit us at lakesideexteriors.com. Lakeside Exteriors, helping you create your dream home.
Traffic reports at your fingertips. Real-time traffic online. Log on to 971talk.com for real-time traffic updates.
Brought to you by Deck and Patio Living. Make your backyard dreams come true. Call 890-2222.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Come to me, daughter, won't let me be. Go to the valley, climb the hill, never takes time.
So in the words of my late friend Aretha Franklin, show some RESPICT.
Word of the day, respect. That's the word of the day. Respect. Welcome back. Hey, just going to throw this out there real quick. Don't know what you're doing Thursday night, but for years I've been helping out a local charity, and I'm going to do it again this Thursday night. I just want to tell people about this. It is the Celebrity Waiters Night for the Crisis Nursery. I'm telling you, these folks do great work. Over the years, we've not only donated time, we've donated toys and all this. It's a place where when the stress of life gets to be too much, sometimes children take the brunt of that frustration. If for families that find themselves in that position, they can go to the crisis nursery and drop their kids off for a little while just to kind of let the pressure off. They do that. They have people who go in and volunteer to sit and rock babies and play with them and give them toys, and they just do great work. So I am always happy to help with charities that do things like that. So this Thursday night between 5 and 9, I'm going to be out there at the West County Center. I'll be at McCormick and Schmick's, but there are a couple of restaurants out there, all to Bravo and a few others all together, where you can make reservations. There are going to be a bunch of people they refer to as celebrities, but they're often people from Channels 4 and 5 and 2 and other radio stations in town who show up just to mingle and ask for donations to this great event. Now, here's the thing. If you can't make it, which is, people are busy, I understand that. I put this up on our Facebook page, The Marc Cox Show on Facebook. So just if you're on Facebook, go to the page, like it. You're going to get updates when we post things. But in this case, you can go to the Facebook page. You can actually, if you want to give a tip, because I'll be walking around with a tip jar asking people to donate. If you want to give a tip but you can't make it, you can do it online. They have a portal set up where you can go on and donate $5 or $10 or just whatever you want to help fill up my tip jar for this, and it's a good cause. So it's Celebrity Waiters Night this Thursday night, the 23rd, out at West County Center between 5 and 9, and I'll be there, I think, between 5 and 7 because I turn into a pumpkin around 9.
That's right. I was going to say.
have to get back and get in bed so I can wake up and do this show in the morning. But anyway.
What a great event.
I reposted it there on Facebook, the Facebook page. Maybe we'll get it up on the blog, too, so that you have that link. But I would appreciate your support, and so would those folks. I think that's good. What was I going to mention? Oh, yeah, this whole Mueller situation is kind of coming to a head. We're going to talk about that a little later this hour, and I've got Randy Tobler coming up in just a couple of minutes. But I did want to mention this, and I'm going to talk more about it later in the show as well. Did you notice what's gone on down in Texas? Students returned to school at that Santa Fe high school where there was a shooting back in the spring. And I thought this was interesting because most of the kids around here returned to school this week or last. And what was there was something that I mentioned in regards to that. But here's the story. Here's how they're playing the Santa Fe shooting here.
I paused, and then boom, boom. Then we realized what it was.
Desks as shields, closets for cover. These are the war-like stories from inside America's schools.
I've always kind of felt like eventually it was going to happen here too. I wasn't surprised, I was just scared.
This time, it was in Santa Fe, Texas, a small town outside Houston.
So that's the ominous music in the background that ABC News runs. So the headline of the story is school starts again at the site of this deadly Texas shooting, right? School starts again with more security. And as God is my witness, ABC News did a 7-minute piece on this story, with the dramatic music in the background, with the fact that we're facing a crisis in America with school shootings. And they never mentioned the added security. In the 7-minute piece, they never got around to mentioning the fact they talked about the details of the shooting, and they talked about Kelly Clarkson. They had a bite from Kelly Clarkson. Something's got to change. She's crying. She don't want to hear prayers and thoughts anymore. Something's got to change. You know what has to change? School security has to change. Here's the headline for the story. When students return to school at Santa Fe High School on Monday, they'll notice a bevy of security upgrades, including new metal detectors, more armed officers roaming the halls, and panic buttons in every classroom. Why do we have to wait until after the shootings happen to do these things? Go to your school board meeting, folks. Ask your superintendent, why haven't we done this yet? Why do we need the news media to come in 6 months later and say, these are the changes they've now put in place because of what happened last May? Let's prevent this from happening in our local schools. You have the power to do that. You just need to take action. It's as obvious as the very large nose on my face. 314-241-9797. The doctor is in. Randy Tobler coming up.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
Changeable skies on this Tuesday with a mix of clouds and sunshine. At times the sun will be out, at other times completely cloudy. High temperatures near 80, so a lot of the afternoon, think in the 70s. Tonight, clear skies, nice evening, nice overnight, 65 for the low on Wednesday, partly sunny and 80. Thursday, sunshine and 80. Not bad at all. I'm Fox 2 meteorologist Dave Murray for FM News Talk 97.1.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The last Nazi war crime suspect facing deportation from the U.S. is now gone, sent from New York City to Germany this morning.
95-year-old Yaakov Pali admitted to training at a Nazi death camp, alleged to have worked at the Treblinski death camp in 1943. That's in eastern Poland, and worked there, and a place where thousands of Jews were killed during World War II.
Fox's Rob Schmidt, he was ordered expelled 14 years ago, but no country was willing to take him. And a controversial statue toppled by demonstrators at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill last night.
Silent Sam, as the statue was nicknamed, was erected in 1913 as a memorial to the UNC students who died fighting in the Civil War. In recent years, opponents have branded it as a symbol of racism and demanded its removal.
Fox's Jack Callahan, Fox News. We report, you decide.
97.1 News Time, 6:31. It's 70 degrees. I'm Denise Schaefer, and this report brought to you by Smart Mouth. Bad breath is bad business. The real cause of bad breath is sulfur gas. Smart Mouth is on shelves at drugstores and supercenters. Never have bad breath. SmartMouth.com. St. Charles County joins a nationwide lawsuit to fight against the opioid epidemic. County Executive Steve Ellman announced they filed a lawsuit against pharmaceutical manufacturers and drug distributors for their aggressive, fraudulent marketing of prescription painkillers. About 1,000 other cities, counties, and states have filed lawsuits. The father of a man killed in a St. Louis police shooting has filed a wrongful death lawsuit. The federal lawsuit alleges that 18-year-old Mansour Balbay was unarmed in August 2015 when he was shot in the back as he ran. Dennis Balbay is suing the city, former police chief Sam Dotson, and officers Ronald Vaughn and Kyle Chandler. Prosecutors did not charge the officers following an investigation. In sports, the Cardinals beat the Dodgers 5-3 last night. They play tonight at 9:10. 97.1 News Time, 6:32.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Crews have cleared that accident eastbound 70 approaching the Rock Road. That is gone, and it's taking just a little while for things to thin out through there. Now, northbound 270, we've picked up some volume, and it's mainly got slow pockets approaching 21 through Manchester. We also have an accident on the Illinois side. This is westbound 64 near 111. It's blocking a traffic lane. We've got heavy volume back through 255. An earlier incident on the McKinley Bridge this morning and an accident nearby has shut down that bridge, so do not take the McKinley Bridge at this hour. We've got some heavy volume starting to build on the Poplar Street Bridge, just around the bend and across the bridge itself. Other than that, we look okay this morning. I'm Sue Thomas with 97.1 Traffic. It's 6:33.
You know, when Mark and I talked to you about the Garden View Care Centers, what we're talking about is their Assisted Living Plus. And let me break that down for you. What the Assisted Living Plus means is that they're offering you and your loved one, first of all, peace of mind. It allows your loved one to maintain the lifestyle that they deserve in a caring environment with people who actually understand what you're going through and have the expertise to offer the appropriate level of care for your loved one. And of course, they encourage socialization, and they're promoting family activities. They also have fun outings like going to Cardinals games and, thinking about activities coming up, with the fall and winter coming up. They have activities that they actually offer at their locations.
Yeah, about 10 hours a day. We visited all 3 locations. At all 3 locations, there were groups of people who were getting together and doing various activities. They do this all the time. When your loved one comes into the Garden View Care Center, within the first 48 hours, they have a care plan set up. They understand what your expectations are. You understand what their process is. They have physicians. They have all of this. And it's outstanding. It's a level of care that owner Richard Winter insists on, as if his own mother was there, which she was at one point. And it continues today. So go there and take a tour of one of those 3 locations, the one closest to you, or tour all 3 of them if you'd like. They're at Doherty Ferry. They're at Chesterfield. They're out in O'Fallon, Missouri. Take a tour today at gvcc.com.
Spectrum Business is transforming how your business does business because we're increasing our starting internet speeds up to 200 megabits per second without increasing our price. Now your business can get new, faster 200 meg Spectrum Business internet, still just $44.99 a month. That's more starting speed than you'll get from other providers. And when you think about just how many devices are connected to your network, computers, printers, cell phones, and everything else using your Wi-Fi, it's just what your business needs. Finally, you can get rid of your slow internet service and start focusing on getting things done. Switch to Spectrum Business today with speed other providers can't beat at a price they can't match. Get Spectrum Business Internet now with speeds up to 200 megabits per second, still only $44.99 a month when bundled with Spectrum Business Voice for $29.99 a month. Call 877-778-0860 or visit business.spectrum.com/200 today. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Watch the Marc Cox Show live on the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox. Log on to our website or use your mobile device to join the daily live stream and watch the show. It's the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox.
Honey, it's time. We can't put it off another year. If you've heard this from your spouse lately, then you've probably spent some time outside lamenting the condition of your home. Unattractive siding, old drafty windows. If you can't stand another season with these, call Banner Construction today. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor, which means we have the expertise to properly install top quality James Hardie fiber cement siding on any home. When you hire Banner, you're not just purchasing products. You're investing in 25 years of home improvement expertise with a company that cares about the final result. Banner also installs James Hardie's Beechworth windows. Beechworth windows are beautiful wood windows with maintenance-free exteriors. Compare to Marvin, Pella, or Renewal by Anderson, and you'll see that Beechworth has the best features from each brand, all in one incredible window. Don't put it off another day. Call Banner Construction at 314-569-1050. And have a banner day. Call 314-569-1050.
Marc Cox. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797. This is the Marc Cox Morning Show. Follow the show on Facebook, facebook.com/The Marc Cox Show.
They're calling, come to me. Talk to her.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Oh, yeah, there you have it. Let's get to our guests, please. We got lots of important stuff to talk about. Oh, the doctor is in. Dr. Randy Tobler is joining us this morning from an undisclosed location somewhere in Florida where I don't know what's going on there. Is it some sort of gender reassignment? Is that what you're down there for?
No, I think yeah.
I don't know. You're a doctor. I don't know why you're in Florida, but that's what I was told. It had something to do with gender.
We did the St. Louis connection. We're down here with my adult daughters and their husbands, and there was no gender reassignment. It was a gender reveal.
Words matter.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, the truth is the truth, and the gender is the gender. Don't you know?
That's awesome. Do you know yet? Has it been revealed?
Yeah. No, it was fun. We flew down on Allegiant Airlines. I hadn't done an Allegiant flight, but we went down from Mid-America Airport on Sunday because I wanted to do the show Saturday, and then we headed down on Sunday morning. And having seen the thing on 60 Minutes with Allegiant Airlines, a few months ago, we took out our wills and did everything and thought, well, this will, But I got to tell you, it was a great flight. It was really a remarkable statement about capitalism, Mark, because while the seats aren't padded, and we did have to push the plane to get it down the drum. No, I'm kidding. It was a fabulous flight, and we saved lots of money. But I got a kick out of it. If you don't have your boarding pass on the cell phone, it costs you $5, and the limit on the weight on the checked baggage is 40 pounds, not 50. But hey, it's great. We saved a couple $100 on the ticket, and I have to say it was a fabulous flight. So for anyone who saw that 60 Minutes expose a few months ago, we had a fabulous time on the Legion. So anyway, we came down here, and then Shannon, who's my older daughter, her sister found out, and knew from the ultrasound what the gender was, and we all went down to the beach here in Destin, which is, of course, the St. Louis connection for Florida, for a lot of folks.
Right.
And I don't know, it was like this wonderful ball of powdery stuff, and she threw it in the ocean, and it turned pink. So I guess that means it's a girl. I'm still looking in Wikipedia to make sure, but I think that's what it was. It was a lot of fun. But I said, well, I don't know. It depends. Maybe when the kid's born, it'll decide. It puts finger in the air and decide which way the winds are blowing. These days, the child can decide what its gender is for that day.
Did you offer them a second opinion, or do you try to avoid that?
I did. I said, without a copay, without so much as a copay, I'll be happy to do an examination. We'll decide what the baby is at that point.
That's congratulations to you. Yes. I joked. I also flew Allegiant to Florida recently, and there was a song one time about the people of Walmart. They need to have a song about the people of Allegiant.
That's right. It's funny though that there's. The plane was brand new and it was really great. I had a lot of fun joking about it, but. It's different. The design of the plane, Mark, is different. As you probably noticed, there's no first class. It's just like a big bus.
Sure.
The aisles are wide, and everything was great. But it was fun. Do you realize the reach of this station? Well, I'm sure you do. But I was checking in, and the guy at the front, the first TSA guy, at the first desk.
Right.
He was looking at my card over and over, and I thought, oh my God, what is it? The Russians? What did I do wrong? and he looked. He says, are you the Randy Tobler on the show? I said, yeah. And he says, man, I love you guys. I love that station. So it was great. I hear that a lot, and I'm sure you do too. And it's gratifying to know that a lot of people that are in positions I know we honor, the people that are keeping us safe, whether it's military or the police or first responders or firefighters or in this case the TSA guys, they listen, and that means a lot, I know, to all of us.
We appreciate that. We really do. Yeah, the folks at Allegiant, I'm just, I'm teasing. The plane we were on was not new because it said McDonnell Douglas on it. So I knew
wow.
It was in like an MD-11 or something. So I knew that it wasn't. But Jeff Allen was speaking about this the other day, Randy, because he flew Allegiant recently, and he said he's pretty sure that the person who checked him in at the counter also is the one that allowed him down the runway at the top of the upstairs, and then might also have been loading the luggage down below.
Hey, but I love it.
But you save some cash. That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. Hey, that's good stuff. Hey, I don't know. You and I probably haven't. I don't know if I don't think we've talked about this or not. But I'm looking at these kids at the University of North Carolina. Last night, I don't know if you follow the news, but they toppled a statue called Silent Sam. It's been there for 105 years. 40% of the students at the University of North Carolina at the time of the Civil War went off to war. A bunch of them went to fight because they were from the Carolinas and the Confederacy, and a number of them went to fight for the North. And for some reason, the snowflakes on that university, the fascists who can't stand somebody to have a different opinion to them, or they can't stand that they weren't around to somehow change history years ago, have decided now they're just going to take a pencil and erase it. So they tore that statue down. And the thing that irritates me the most, Randy, is that the university let them do it.
That's the problem. That's the problem, Mark. I actually am glad to see these hooligans making these attempts and really exposing fascism and what it truly is all about, and what the progressive left is all about. And that's about really muzzling free speech and dishonoring and absolutely trying to erase what are our most fundamental principles, and that is, our rights of free speech and our rights of expression. And first of all, I guess the most important thing is recognizing history and letting history be there to be analyzed and discussed and processed, standing for what history teaches us, in all of its good and bad. And so it's okay. It's not good that they're doing it. I think it's good from a political perspective for folks that are conservative, all the way from the middle to the right end of the spectrum, Mark, because the more we see actions like this, the more we see the hooligans act out, the more we see the Ocasio-Cortezes asking for open borders, and, the more we see that kind of activity, and the more we see Antifa and Black Lives Matter, and yes, even, radical Me Too with the leaders themselves having to pay hush money because they were abusive of underage children.
Yes.
It's actually good in a political sense, but at some point, there has to be a firewall. And I agree with you. Where is the firewall? At some point, the voice of reason, the voice of, of common sense, and frankly, of recognizing right is right, wrong is wrong, has to stand up. And you're right, when the authorities cave like that, it's bad. Now, don't you think what's going to happen there is what happened at the University of Missouri? The alumni will be up in arms. They'll stop donating. Enrollment will go down. And this violent and out-of-control minority will be recognized for what it is. And it'll hurt all of the students there, unfortunately. But that's what happens. Actions have consequences. And I think, finally, the people who support that university will speak if the people leading it won't. But
the same thing happened at the interview. You just described what happened at the University of Missouri. And clearly the progressives and the radical leftists who are in charge at some of these major universities, they just don't care. Political correctness is all that matters to them. I'm sickened by it. I can't believe that they stood by. This was not a large group. I looked at the video. WRAL out of Raleigh covered the story. Mm-hmm. I looked at the video online. It wasn't a large group. It wouldn't have taken 25 or 30 police officers to kind of herd them away from the statue, but they didn't do that. They let them do what they wanted to do, like a bunch of spoiled brats, and pull over this monument that was somehow deeply offensive to them. And now their lives no different today than it was yesterday, but they feel like they've accomplished something.
I mean, I think we all run across things in life, Mike, Mark, that are deeply offensive to me. I mean, I'm deeply offended every time I'm taken away from a patient and I have to sit in front of electronic medical records. So are many of the physicians that try to take care of patients, and frankly, many of the nurses and the administrators who try to bring health care to people. That doesn't mean I'm going to start bashing computers. That doesn't mean that that it just I'm going to be totally disruptive and go into a rage throughout the office and try to take things into my own hands. We have political discourse, we have the ballot box, we have social media, we have talk radio. People can call in and express their views. Don't you imagine there's some talk shows in North Carolina? Don't you think there's some opportunities for these kids to blog? I don't mind them saying their opinion, but the fact that we endorse this kind of the most base, primeval, limbic behavior is just beyond me. And why our civil society, especially in a place where we're supposed to celebrate a diversity of opinions, why we put up with that and why the authorities put up with it is beyond me. It's interesting. You don't see those the leaders at that campus, the provost or the president or any of those folks. You don't see them getting on doing any interviews because I think they wouldn't know what to say.
No, I would agree. They released a statement. That's the safe thing you do these days. Hey, Randy, listen, media, enjoy Destin. Congratulations on your granddaughter.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
That's exciting. We'll talk to you soon. Appreciate that. Randy Tobler Show, of course, Saturday mornings from 6 to 9 here on FM News Talk 97.1. Just having a little fun with Randy there. That's good.
He played along.
He's got a good sense of humor.
He does.
314-241-9797. What say you? We will get to your phone calls. We've got a pair of Blues preseason tickets to give away again today. We'll be doing that every day this week. We'll do that probably in the next hour, I think. So stick around for that. Your chance to win coming up. We got Cassie Smedley from the RNC. We're talking about an event coming up where you can exercise your Second Amendment rights. There's going to be a rally held. We're going to have details on that at around 7:37. We'll be right back.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
97.1 News Time, 6:48. It's 70 degrees. I'm Denise Schaefer, and here are a few of the local stories we're following this morning. Missouri Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft is investigating why a polling place in O'Fallon opened late in the primary election earlier this month. The father of a man killed in a St. Louis police shooting has filed a wrongful death lawsuit. The Granite City School Board will meet tonight to discuss possible discipline after a controversial dance team photo shoot. In sports, the Cardinals beat the Dodgers 5-3 last night. They play tonight at 9:10. This report brought to you by Associated Press, the newest podcast from the Associated Press, Ground Game, hosted by AP's Megan Crane. A weekly conversation about top political issues ahead of the upcoming midterm elections. Available on Apple Podcasts and PodcastOne.com. 97.1 News Time, 6:49. It's 70 degrees.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Traffic brought to you by Meineke, and at this hour, we've got a jam on the Poplar Street Bridge. Looks like crews have cleared that accident. Westbound 64 near 111 on the Illinois side. Some moderate volume there, but then 64 picks up, headed for the 70 merge. And westbound 55-64 is jammed from the King Bridge split across the Poplar. Northbound Route 3, drivers slow at Monsanto. A train probably crossing there, as they do in that area, very slowly. The McKinley Bridge still closed in both directions at this hour due to a police incident. Northbound 270 stacked up 55 through Manchester. Eastbound 70 drivers, it's a slow go for you. Across the Blanchette Bridge this morning, moderate volume that goes through the Rock Road. That's all due to an earlier accident. With services from oil change to brake repair, the team at Meineke has you covered. And right now, get a basic oil change for $19.95. Meineke, on with life. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 6:50.
Well, let me tell you about the folks at Michael's Flooring Outlet. Let's face it. Sometimes flooring is something you kind of put off, right? It's not something that you necessarily look for. Sometimes you see the carpet's dirty, you think, well, I'm going to have to do that, but you just keep forgetting about it. Michael understands that, right? So when it's time, when you finally can't stand it anymore and you're going to have to replace that carpeting, or you're going to upgrade to wood, or you need to put tile in your kitchen like we do, go to Michael's Flooring Outlet. Michael has been in the business for 20 years. He's got 4 stores. He could probably have 20 stores. But he's a little bit of a quality control guy. He wants to make sure it's done right. He's got employees that have been with him for 20 years. Here's what he wants you to do. Go shop somewhere else. And then come to him with whatever deal you get, and he's going to beat it. It's that simple. He's got a great selection. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, you're going to want to go to the store up in Old Town St. Peter's, because that's where they've got the warehouse and the do-it-yourself desk and all that stuff. But there are 4 stores. There's also one in Darden Prairie. That's the newest location. North County off Lindbergh, West County off Olive there, but the theater's out there west of 270. Go visit them. They're going to educate you. They're going to show you different options. They're not going to sell you just what's in overstock, and you will love your experience at Michael's Flooring Outlet as much as we did when we had our upstairs recarpeted and some new waterproof flooring, which they're carrying a lot of this stuff these days. Very popular, put down in our bathroom because it's impervious to water. Anywhere you might have water, you want to look at this Mohawk and this waterproof flooring that they have. It's excellent. Go visit them now. Check them out online at michaelsflooringoutlet.com.
Talking with a bunch of my colleagues the other day, the discussion was around testosterone therapy and how it's all the rage. Well, when everything's all the rage, you have to watch out about new operations that don't have the experience, that don't have the training, that don't have the expertise that Dr. Richard Moore and the Edge for Men has. Dr. Moore, of course, a board-certified internist, knows the pitfalls as well as the huge potential for advantage in therapy with testosterone, but that it has to be tested for, it has to be administered properly, and it has to be monitored carefully, or else, of course, the downside can outweigh the upside. The other aspect about the testosterone therapy is that administering testosterone when it's not the right thing to do, the right cause for your problem of low energy, fatigue, weakness, or that you're just grumpy. You're not the happy, vital guy that your gal knew before, not to mention the ED problems. Dr. Moore will make sure that, in fact, it is a testosterone problem and nothing else. The right treatment for the right problem at the right time, at the right place. It's the Edge for Men at edgeformenstl.com. That's edgeformenstl.com. Don't wait another minute. Come on, get your edge back today.
Looking to save more on auto insurance? You could save an average of $447. It's easy. Get your free quote at AAA.com/insurance and see how much you could save. Visit AAA.com/insurance today for your free quote.
The Annie Fry Show.
Trump accuses Mueller of trying to fix the midterms while the majority in both houses hangs in the balance. We'll talk to the Heritage Foundation about the Senate's approval of Brett Kavanaugh.
Annie Fry, weekdays noon to 3 on FM News Talk 97.1.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app, available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
This hour, Making America Great, brought to you by Proctor Drapery, Blinds, Shades, and Shutters. Making your home great again. ProctorDrapery.com. It's Proctor, spelled like doctor.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Rumors spreading round United Texas town.
Fortunately, one of my favorite albums was Lady Soul by Aretha Franklin. I blurted out, "You make me feel." Silence. "You make me feel like a natural woman." Two French guys nodded at me.
Madonna speaking last night at the MTV Awards, and I only play it. I almost hate to sully the airwaves with her voice because she's so disgusting. But what I do enjoy is when they're eating each other, and that's what's happening this morning. So they let Madonna do the tribute to Aretha Franklin. She mentioned Aretha Franklin like once and then talked about herself for 5 minutes. So the leader of Black Lives Matter immediately got on social media to shame Madonna, basically by saying they just whited Aretha and she ain't even cold yet. Whiteness has no shame. And I guess they were mad that Madonna was white and was talking about Aretha, or didn't spend enough time talking about Aretha and only talked about herself. I don't know. Plus, if you did you look at this outfit? What the hell is she wearing? She looks like Vlad the Destroyer or something on this picture. I don't know. You got to look at this. It's she got like spikes on her head. I don't know what she thinks that she's doing. Anyway, last night, in case you missed, and I'm sure you did, because if you listen to this show, you wouldn't watch this garbage anyway. Go ahead and play the Kevin Hart bite again, 31 for me, Zach.
I'm looking at this like it's game day, people. But do not worry, because at this game, you guys are allowed to kneel. You can do whatever the hell you want. There's no old white man that can stop you. Do it.
Donald Trump didn't stop anybody, Kevin Hart. And with that fell swoop, that dig at an old white man who happens to be making America great again, you've lost another fan, and maybe a whole lot of fans who won't pay to see your drivel anymore. I don't care. If you don't stick your finger up in the wind and realize what's going on here, people aren't watching the NFL anymore because of the way these spoiled brat millionaires are seeking to dominate entertainment with their opinions. That's not what we watch the NFL for. It's not what most people don't watch the MTV Awards, but it's not what people watch award shows for. They don't want to hear you pontificate because you happen to have an open mic at an award ceremony. It's not why they tune in. Get a talk radio show or something. We'll be back in a minute.
This is the Long-Term Care Minute. According to the Department of Veterans Affairs, of the 16 million veterans who served during World War II, less than 558,000 are still alive. To make things worse, many of them now need long-term care. With the average cost of nursing home care approaching $7,000 monthly, we wondered, what should veterans do? For some advice on this, we called on long-term care expert and best-selling author Don Quante. So Don, what should our veterans do?
Well, quite simply, we recommend our veterans get a free copy of my book, Tax-Free Money for Long-Term Care, where they will learn about a little-known veterans benefit that may allow them to receive up to $26,000 a year tax-free to pay for long-term care. Give me a call right now. The next 30 listeners will get a free copy of my book.
That sounds great, Don. Just call 800-256-1607. That's 800-256-1607. This has been the Long-Term Care Minute.
Hey, ThrottleNet is the company that you want to use because they've kind of broken the mold when it comes to IT and network security and network servicing and paying attention to customers. Customer service suffers at a lot of places these days. There's a big trend here for bigger companies to buy up small IT companies in St. Louis, not ThrottleNet. ThrottleNet broke the mold by saying we're not going to require long-term contracts. We're going to do great work. You're going to want us to come back. That's how we work. We'll monitor you 24 hours a day. We're here if you need us. We're in town. We're not halfway across the country in Indiana or in India. We're going to monitor it. If we can't fix it remotely, we're there when you turn the key in the door. And for most small businesses, that's peace of mind that you don't have if you don't have a staff member sitting there waiting to help you. That's what they do at ThrottleNet. They break the mold. Call them at 866-826-5966 or just go to that website, throttlenet.com.
KFTK FM Florissant, KFTK AM East St. Louis, K254CR St. Louis.
The Marc Cox Show, brought to you by Thomas Helbig, the official St. Louis financial advisor of The Marc Cox Show.
Find everything Marc Cox at 971talk.com/Cox. FM News Talk, 97.1.
A radio.com station.
A Colorado man says he killed his wife because she killed their kids. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. Chris Watts is accused of all 3 murders. The story now from Fox's Tanya J. Powers.
Watts is due in court today. He admits to killing his wife, Shannon, but he says he is not responsible for the deaths of their 2 girls. He says his wife killed them after learning that he wanted a separation. Frank Ruchek is Shannon's father, who's thanked friends and neighbors for organizing a candlelight vigil for her.
And keep the prayers coming for our family. Thank you very much.
Watts is facing 3 first-degree murder charges. He's being held without bail. Chris.
Tanya, Microsoft says a hacking group linked to the Russian government made websites to look like they belong to 2 conservative think tanks that promote democracy. The company says there's no evidence anybody actually clicked on the fake links. The Trump administration has a plan to weaken more federal environmental rules.
The acting administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency, Andrew Wheeler, signed a plan to weaken regulation of coal-fired power plants. The move comes just before President Trump heads to Charleston in the coal-producing state of West Virginia. The New York Times reports that at a rally, the president's expected to propose new rules that would let states decide whether or not they want to curb emissions from coal plants. Meanwhile, environmental groups like the Sierra Club call coal deadly and outdated. The Union for Concerned Scientists says when coal is burned, it releases airborne health hazards like lead and mercury. Jill Nato, Fox News.
Some prison inmates across the country are going on a 2-week strike starting today to protest what organizers call modern-day slavery, working for pennies per hour. The strike's called for by an advocacy group called Jailhouse Lawyers Speak. Participating inmates plan to not eat, skip work assignments, and hold peaceful sit-ins. Ahead of the opening bell on Wall Street, Dow futures are up 57 points. Fox News, fair and balanced.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans. When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer. When I grow up, I want to be a glass countertop in a new home. When I grow up, I want to be a kid's best birthday present. When I grow up, I want to be a football stadium. When I grow up, I want to be a warm fleece on a cold day. When I grow up, I want to be a fancy backsplash. I want to be a bike that races around the country. When I grow up, I want to be a bench on a forest trail. I want to be a rocking chair on a sunny porch. I want to be a skyscraper. I want to be When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. A public service advertisement brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
97.1 News Time, 7:03. I'm Denise Schaefer. Here's the official forecast from Fox 2's Dave Murray. Partly cloudy today, high of 80, then mostly clear. Nice tonight, low of 65. Partly sunny, nice tomorrow, high of 80. It's 70 degrees right now. Missouri Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft is investigating why a polling place in O'Fallon opened late in the primary election. He said the doors remained locked 90 minutes past opening time for the August 7th election, and the problem could have impacted the Missouri House races for both Republicans and Democrats. They were decided by less than half of 1% of the vote. St. Charles County joins a nationwide lawsuit to fight against the opioid epidemic. County Executive Steve Ellman announced they filed a lawsuit against pharmaceutical manufacturers and drug distributors for their aggressive and fraudulent marketing of prescription painkillers. The father of a man killed in a St. Louis police shooting has filed a wrongful death lawsuit. The federal lawsuit alleges that 18-year-old Mansour Balbay was unarmed in August 2015 when he was shot in the back as he ran. Dennis Balbay is suing the city, former police chief Sam Dotson, and officers Ronald Vaughn and Kyle Chandler. Prosecutors did not charge the officers following an investigation. The Granite City School Board will meet tonight to discuss possible discipline following a controversial dance team photo shoot. The photo spread on social media showing members of the dance team and their coach posed with a police vehicle that some thought were inappropriate. The board will decide whether or not the students or coach should face disciplinary action. This report brought to you by Page Publishing. Learn how to get your book idea published, sold online and at bookstores. Call now for your free guide, 800-470-4833, 800-470-4833. 97.1 News Time, 7:04. It's 70 degrees. Sports is brought to you by the Clayton Sleep Institute. Learn the cause of your sleep problems. Better sleep, better life. ClaytonSleep.com. The Cardinals beat the Dodgers 5-3 in Los Angeles last night. Jose Martinez hit a solo home run in the first, and Jed Jerko and Matt Carpenter both homered in the ninth. It was Carpenter's National League leading 34th home run of the season. Starter Austin Gomber gave up 2 runs and 5 hits in 5 innings. The Cards and Dodgers play Game 2 of their 3-game series tonight at 9:10. This report brought to you by Brinton Vision, Marc Cox's choice for vision correction. 314-375-2020, BrintonVision.com. 97.1 News Time, 7:05. It's 70 degrees.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Well, we still have the McKinley Bridge closed this morning due to police activity. So if you're headed in from Illinois, try the Poplar Street Bridge because we now have an accident just on the Missouri side of the Chain of Rocks Bridge. It looks like the accident is blocking the left lane, only the right lane getting by. We also have some cars on the shoulder. So a bit of a mess through there. Right now the jam goes back through Route 3. Also some moderate volume on the Stan Musial Veterans Memorial Bridge and heavier traffic on the Poplar Street Bridge this morning. Now northbound 270 is stacked up, and that's 55 through Manchester. Eastbound 70 drivers, just some moderate volume for you as you head toward the Blanchette Bridge. It's not too bad through there. And eastbound 6440 still looking good as you head toward Mason. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 7:06.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
Changeable skies on this Tuesday with a mix of clouds and sunshine. At times the sun will be out, at other times completely cloudy. High temperatures near 80, so a lot of the afternoon, think in the 70s. Tonight, clear skies, nice evening, nice overnight, 65 for the low. On Wednesday, partly sunny and 80. Thursday, sunshine and 80. Not bad at all. I'm Fox 2 meteorologist Dave Murray for FM News Talk 97.1.
It's 7:06 and 70 degrees, and FM News Talk 97.1 is now available on radio.com. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Law Office of Lance Drury here in St. Louis. I'm sure you've seen or heard ads where people owed the IRS thousands of dollars and their tax bills were miraculously reduced to nothing. I'm here to tell you the same companies that run those ads are the ones that routinely force clients to call me when they don't resolve their IRS problems and stop returning calls. Look, the IRS doesn't make it easy to resolve a case. So don't waste precious time and money. Contact me, Lance Drury, today. I'm a local tax attorney and I've helped hundreds resolve their IRS problems quickly and cost efficiently. Schedule a free confidential appointment and let's take control of your situation and protect your legal rights. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. You need an experienced tax attorney. You need me, Lance Drury. Call 314-260-6120 or toll free 888-367-6512 or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey, Window World, you know what? They start out at a great price on windows. That's what you need to understand. When you go to Window World, per window, you're saving money right off the bat. Now, that's for their basic vinyl double-hung window. And, you know, you may just need one window. You might need 20 windows. Whatever you need, you want to start off with a great price to begin with, and we love Window World. We had a couple of windows put in our bathroom, as I mentioned before. It was a great process from the beginning to the end, and we went to several other stores, and we shopped around, and we looked at these windows. This is what I love about Window World. I get a lifetime warranty. It's going to cover all the parts, all the glass breakage, all the labor. So if the neighbor kid puts a baseball through my window, it's still getting fixed, and it's not on me. So that's fantastic. They custom build your window. They come out and they measure it. They don't just have them sitting there waiting to go. They come out, they measure it for the hole in your house, and that's how they build it. And then when they deliver it, they slide it into place, and it is a smooth process. They got this whole thing done a lot more quickly and efficiently than I expected, and we couldn't be happier with our windows from Window World. So call them. They're going to come to your house, no high-pressure sales pitch. They'll look at your windows. They'll find out what you need. They'll give you a free estimate, and you'll find out why they're simply the best for less. So there you have it. They got the good housekeeping seal of approval, and you'll realize why when you see the product. 314-993-1800. Go to their website at windowworldstl.com.
Kevin and Dave here from Mentality here in St. Louis. I think every guy should be able to afford testosterone treatment at home or in our St. Louis Mentality Clinic. The fact that we accept insurance puts treatment within reach for every guy.
Yeah, the guys that we see don't want to be satisfied just running out the clock. They don't want to wait for the game to end and them not to achieve any more or accomplish any more. They've got more things to do in life.
To find out more in our St. Louis clinics, go to lowtusa.com.
Summer means savage savings at Tactical in St. Peters. Mention the code word SAVAGE for a super secret squirrel savings on things that we're not supposed to put on sale.
Did you tell them we have 511 and Oakley tactical gear?
I did not.
This hour, Making America Great, brought to you by Proctor Drapery, Blinds, Shades, and Shutters. Making your home great again. ProctorDrapery.com. It's Proctor, spelled like doctor.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show. Follow the show on Facebook. Facebook.com/The Marc Cox Show.
And I think we're going to have much more of a red wave than what you're going to see as a phony blue wave. Blue wave means crime. It means open borders. Not good.
The president having a great time yesterday pointing out what's going to happen, as he does so well, if the Democrats take over the House again, and we've got to suffer through listening to Nancy Pelosi with the gavel. I mean, think about that.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
What a horrible woman she is.
I'm just saying that probably not going to happen. But I'm glad that he's out there beating on the drums and pointing out what's going on and all the good things that are happening around the country right now. That's what we're after. That's what we want to see. Hey, coming up a little later this hour, we're going to give away a couple more tickets to the Blues preseason games, because a lot of people, if you heard Tom Ackerman in here yesterday, the KMOX sports director, a lot of people very excited about the hockey season coming up. And at 7:37 today, I've got a guest on. There's going to be a Second Amendment rally going on in the state of Missouri, and they're looking for folks to show up. So I'm going to tell you more details on that at around 7:37 this morning. Glad you're with us. Hey, let me get to my guest here. Cassie Smedley joining us from the RNC. And Cassie, how are you?
Hey, Mark, I'm great, and it's great to be with you.
Well, it's great to have you on the show again. You know, I said this yesterday in my tease for the program today, but whatever happens in November, the RNC, the Republicans, have already won a major battle, and that's on the fundraising front. This is unbelievable.
That's right. We had another record fundraising month that we announced just yesterday. We raised more money this past July than we have in the two prior midterm Julys combined, 2010 and 2014. And our good friends at the DNC released their numbers at the very last minute last night. Once again, it was a bad month for them. And if you account for their debt, They only have about $1 million on hand right now. So that's going to make it really tough. It's already going to be really tough for them, but really tough for them to go out and support their candidates. And conversely, at the RNC, we're already reinvesting that money just as fast as the president and our chairwoman can raise it. And we've got more than 500 staff on the ground. We've made more than 30 million voter contacts. That's just phone calls and knocking doors. We're not even talking about emails and mail pieces and all that good stuff. And the biggest thing that our candidates get, the biggest bang for the buck, is they get the best data system in the business. And every Democrat candidate has to go out and build their own email lists and build their own targeting universes, we call them. And at the RNC, we say, you're the Republican candidate. We're going to give you the keys to the best data in the business and save you big money on the campaign side.
Well, let's hope that pays off. I really hope that it does, because I know that lots of money is going to get spent. So if that money on the Democratic side is not coming from the DNC, because they sort of have a habit of making bad investment decisions like spending $6 million on a fake Russian dossier, then where's all the money going to be coming from that pours into the Claire McCaskill race here? I'm assuming from George Soros?
Well, I imagine he is a friend of Claire McCaskill, so long as she will support his impeachment efforts. Of course, impeachment's in the House. But I'm giving you a really great good news story about the RNC, and we're so grateful for all of our donors, large and so many of them small, just an average of $30 per donation. But that's a really good point. Not only are there outside groups, but a lot of our Democrat candidates are out raising our Republican candidates. So we can do so much on our data side. That's why that data is so key, because that just saves candidates so much money. But we have to be honest about this. We cannot be complacent. There is a surge of outside money that's coming in to resist our president at all costs. And these Democrats like Claire McCaskill are ground zero of the resistance this November. So you will see millions of dollars come into the race. So we've got to be mobilized with our volunteers and, yes, of course, with our donations to both the party and to our candidates. So get out there and support Josh, because he needs all the help he can get, because Claire McCaskill has deep pockets. We know about all of her ties to very rich people. And they're going to be out there trying to help her.
Yeah, she'll be out in Hollywood trying to get people like Kevin Hart to donate to her because of some of the ignorant statements he made last night at those MTV Awards. Not that I would have known about that if somebody hadn't saved the clip, because I would never watch that.
I have to say, I didn't watch it, and I, in fact, took a test. Some friends of the Federalists, they took a test. How far back do you have to go before you recognize the nominees? So I think that tells you not how old I am. I'm pretty young.
I know you are.
It tells you how out of touch Hollywood and the music industry is with, mainstream America.
Well, you make a great point there, Cassie, and I'm going to point out that this week, and I was in the financial services industry for a few years, and I just have to point out that every year, before every election the last couple of years, that before every midterm, all that, people are saying, well, I'm not sure if I want to invest because I don't know what the market's going to do. This week, the stock market is about to break to become the longest bull market in the history of U.S. trading. And it's almost like it's on steroids now because of some of the changes that this president has made in regulations and tax laws, and the people need to appreciate that.
That's right. And it's just incredible. And what I love about that is that you put it so perfectly. Some of the changes that Congress and the president have made to empower people to make changes in the way they run their businesses and the way that they're budgeting with their families. This stock market, the reason that I think it's so unbelievable is because it really is powered by the people. Those aren't just government adjustments that are giving us this false sense of market security and enthusiasm. And I think that's why it's really hard for longtime investors to say, we love what we're seeing. We can't quite say when we're going to stop seeing it, because it really is a free market right now. And I think that's very exciting. But to your other point, all this good news stops if Nancy Pelosi gets the speakership and Chuck Schumer becomes the majority leader. And that really is the stark reality of the situation. You've got a president in office who supports Americans, supports American businesses, and you've got Democrats who are just waiting in the wings to ruin all of this great progress. And that is the difference this November.
Cassie, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Remind people about how they can follow you on social media.
Of course. So, of course, the best way to get all your latest and greatest news for the RNC is at GOP on Twitter and GOP.com on our website. And I always appreciate going back and forth with Missourians on at CM Smedley on Twitter.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Cassie. Have a great day.
Thank you, Mark. You too.
You bet. Appreciate that. She's from Kansas City, but don't hold that against her. That's it. 314-241-9797, 866-455-9797. Now, we got 2A Tuesdays coming up. We'll get to some of your phone calls in just a minute. Oh, no, we won't. Why did I say
This is your long break.
I see that. Why do I forget that sometimes? Why do I forget that?
That's okay.
Sometimes?
Zach was like, "Oh, right.
I apologize.
Yeah, you go ahead and go to that break."
I was thinking that we had. I was thinking that I was past a break there for some reason. Zach, you got to snap your fingers at me and like Trisha does, right? Trisha's got me well trained. Mm-hmm. She's like, "Oh, what are you doing over there?"
Zach doesn't freak out.
No, he doesn't. This dude is cool, calm, collected.
Yes.
I was just about to put on some
music.
He's like, well, it's all right. If you want to go to a break, I'll take care of you, Mark.
Why is he doing that? I don't think we should take a break here, but he's right about that. So we do have our 2A Tuesday segment coming up. At the top of the next hour, by the way, Jay Ashcroft, Secretary of State, is going to join us. I asked him to join us because of this controversy that has developed out in St. Charles County. And if you aren't aware of that, there was a polling place that did not open for the first hour and a half because nobody seemed to have the keys. The locks had been changed, and the results in that election were razor thin. And now there's some question over whether or not there should be another election held. You know, pros and cons. If you hold another election, will the turnout be as high? Would the results be the same? We don't know. But the Secretary of State's office has decided that they're going to at least investigate this, which is what I think the candidates were looking for here. And we'll get Jay Ashcroft on here coming up in the next hour at about 8:10 to talk more about that. I think that's important stuff. So stay tuned for that. The Manafort trial. Well, how about that? The jury's entering. Is it their third or fourth day now of testimony? Mm-hmm. I mean, of debate over this, and the Manafort people they're happy that this wasn't some quick decision by this jury. Mm-hmm. Like what does this constitute? I think what it gets down to is they came back with a question of what's reasonable doubt. It's possible that the Mueller team really overplayed their hand here. That the judge kept pointing out, why are you talking to me about ostrich jackets and extravagant spending, when the allegation is that basically there was tax evasion going on here. There was money being brought into this country, taxes weren't being paid on it by an American citizen. Just show me the facts. It's an accounting problem, right? It's not a spending problem. You either paid the taxes on this money or you didn't. Mm-hmm. If you have the receipts, show them to me. But instead, they wanted to paint Manafort as some sort of, a super rich dude who spent extravagantly at shops you and I could never afford to shop in. It's almost like they were trying to gin up the envy angle. They never brought up the president, and the judge warned them about that. Dude, this has nothing to do with the administration. Has nothing to do with Russian collusion. Has nothing to do with anything other than somebody not paying their taxes. Mm-hmm. For the second time in a row. So we're keeping an eye on that because I don't know if they're going to come back with a verdict today or not in that case. But now we're learning that
with our luck, it'll be like at 9:01.
Yeah, sure it will. Now we're learning that George Papadopoulos might consider changing his guilty plea in this case. His wife's been pushing for this, and she's an interesting character. She was on Hannity again last night talking about this, and I don't know if you had a chance to see it or not, but she is Russian, I believe, which is really interesting because, of course, he's accused of conspiring with Russia somehow or colluding with Russia, and she's angry about the way this whole thing has been handled, and she doesn't want him to go down as easily as he's gone down. And I think she's kind of encouraging him, from what I heard last night, to change his guilty plea in that case, which could, he could end up with more time in jail if he changes his guilty plea and tries to fight it. But there are lots of problems with this Mueller case. I mentioned this earlier. I hats off to Annie Fry, who, of course, does the midday show here at noon to 3. We'll have her on the show again on Friday. But she did a great job yesterday kind of breaking down this whole Russian collusion argument and where it stemmed from. Going back to pre-2016, when the investigation first started, when they had these suspicions, properly pointing out, as Tucker did the other day and as Sean Hannity has on several occasions, why exactly did you warn Dianne Feinstein that she had somebody on her staff that was the subject of a foreign intelligence investigation? You warned her, but nobody went to the Trump campaign and warned them that they had George Papadopoulos and some other people, Carter Page, who were the targets of a foreign intelligence surveillance investigation. Nobody bothered to warn them, I believe, because they knew that if they let them remain attached to the campaign, it would taint it somehow, and they could possibly use it in the future. I mean, call that conspiratorial if you want, but go back and look at the words that they used. Bruce Orr, the DOJ official, was concerned when Comey got fired that they might be exposed. His wording, not mine. Exposed of what? What were they worried about? When Peter Strzok texts, "We'll stop it," who's we? I mean, there are just so many questions here that haven't been answered, that need to be answered, and yet this investigation drags on. No evidence of collusion, no evidence that anything changed the outcome of the election. Today, the news breaks from Microsoft that they have evidence that hackers tried to break into the databases of several conservative news agencies, conservative think tanks, I think is what it was, targeted GOP, that they believe the Russian hackers, this is better. They believe the Russian hackers were targeting GOP critics of Donald Trump. That's now what they're suggesting here, as if the right's suddenly going to be concerned about Russian hackers because, well, now they were targeting critics of Donald Trump. None of this is new. Nothing in here is new. Everybody knew that the Russians were dabbling around the perimeter of our election system for whatever reason. The president, the former President Obama, the New York Times, every news agency that looked at it reached the same conclusion. Had no effect on the outcome of the election. Not a single Russian cast a vote in the election for or against Hillary Clinton. This didn't happen. And yet that's still the reality that we deal with every day in this country. People are mad because yesterday the president referred to John Dean from the Nixon years as a rat. And of course, Dean had to respond to it. And it just every day it's something new to try to gin this thing up. And there's not an ounce of proof yet that there was anything to this. And I don't know where it ends, folks. I don't know where it ends or how it ends, but I am worried about it. I really am, because I think that I think that we're heading for a showdown here between Giuliani and Mueller and all of that, and I don't think that it reflects well. It's not going to reflect well on the president.
And as much as I love Giuliani, I'm starting to cringe a little bit every now and then when he talks.
But truth is not truth. And we've pointed that out
I get
before.
that they get turned around, but still you're just like, oh, if you could have just explained that before that part came out. The truth isn't the truth.
The truth is not the truth at all. But I tell you what, coming up, there's an event that you may want to attend in support of your Second Amendment rights. Don't believe that just because the Republicans have firm control over what's going on in Jeff City, that there aren't constantly attempts to try to restrict that. We're going to have Lisa Banks join us coming up for our 2A Tuesday segment to talk more about how you can come out and show your support. At the top of the hour, we've got Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft coming in talking about the polling place in St. Charles County that just didn't open for an hour and a half, and we don't know how many people didn't get to vote, but hopefully they're looking into that. And my friend Chris Arps joining us coming up in the next hour as well. 314-241-9797.
Hey, Tim Jones here for my guys at Universal Windows Direct. It is time to take care of all those drafty, chipped, foggy windows and call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. Their patented foam super spacer technology created by NASA creates a better seal than traditional metal spacers. Your windows will last longer and you'll save money on your energy bills. These new windows will make your home more beautiful. Every window is custom made for your home. From wood trim to premium vinyl, the added security of cam-style locks. It's like looking at a brand new home, all backed up by the true lifetime warranty. You're covered for as long as you own your home, 30 years to the next homeowner. That makes Universal Windows Direct windows the last ones you'll ever need. Stop suffering with drafty, chipped windows. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. For every window you buy, the next one's free. There's no limits to that. 0% financing for 36 months. Free installation, all backed up with the true lifetime warranty. As long as you own your home, 30 years to the next homeowner. How can you beat that? Call to schedule your free in-home estimate today, 314-878-0300. Go to universalwindowsstlouis.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
The folks at the Retirement Advisory Group can take care of you if you are nearing retirement. You can see it down the road. You know, what did we talk about earlier? We're in the middle of one of the longest bull markets in history. When is that going to end, right? Bull markets have an expected length, and we're about to break the record, so nobody knows what's going to happen. Your financial advisor doesn't know. Nobody's really sure what's going to happen with that. And here's what you do. You go talk to Thomas Helbig at the Retirement Advisory Group. He can sit down and show you some strategies so that your retirement income, when that happens, is not tied to the ups and downs of the market. You take advantage of it going up. You don't lose if it goes down. A lot of people want to know what that check's going to be in the mailbox at the beginning of the month. It's important stuff. 855-755-1555 is the phone number, or go to their website at retirementkey.com.
Fox News Radio. I'm Lillian Wu, a 95-year-old man who once worked in a Nazi death camp, deported from the U.S. to Germany after years of negotiations.
It was a difficult task because this individual is not of German citizenry. He had his U.S. citizenship taken away, so he technically was without a country. He was stateless.
That's Richard Grinnell, U.S. ambassador to Germany, speaking to Fox and Friends. And jurors in the trial of former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort getting ready for a fourth day of deliberations.
Jurors worked later into the evening than usual, but did not reach a verdict. Deliberations will resume this morning. Defense attorneys for Paul Manafort believe the lengthy deliberations are good for their client, and Manafort thinks it was a very good day. Jurors have spent more than 20 hours considering 18 felony charges.
Fox's Jared Halpern, Fox News. We report, you decide.
97.1 News Time, 7:31. It's 70 degrees. I'm Denise Schaefer. St. Charles County joins a nationwide lawsuit to fight against the opioid epidemic. County Executive Steve Ellman announced they filed a lawsuit against pharmaceutical manufacturers and drug distributors for their aggressive and fraudulent marketing of prescription painkillers. Missouri Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft is investigating why a polling place in O'Fallon opened late in the primary election. He said the doors remained locked for 90 minutes past the opening time for the August 7th election, and the problem could have impacted the Missouri House races for both Republicans and Democrats. They were decided by less than half of 1% of the vote. The Granite City School Board will meet tonight to discuss possible discipline following a controversial dance team photo shoot. The photos spread on social media showed members of the dance team and their coach posed with a police vehicle that some thought were inappropriate. The board will decide whether or not the students or coach should face disciplinary action. In sports, the Cardinals beat the Dodgers 5-3 last night. They play tonight at 9:10. 97.1 News Time, 7:32.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
I'll tell you what, we've got a mess for Illinois drivers this morning. There's an accident westbound 270 coming off the Chain of Rocks Bridge. It is blocking the left lane Also blocked is the right shoulder, so only the right lane is squeezing by. And we've got a solid jam that goes back to 111 this morning. It's just a mess. Now, downtown, we had the McKinley Bridge closed. That's all due to a police incident. And as a result, we have more volume on the Poplar and the Stan Musial bridges this morning. So those are both heavy and slow. And 64 is back to 111. Now, northbound 270 on the Missouri side, it's the usual volume, but it's a jam. And that's from 55 through Manchester. Eastbound 64 40 drivers, heaviest volume for you, Boone's Crossing through Timberlake Manor. Eastbound 70, well, some moderate volume in O'Fallon, but then it's heavier, and that's between 94 and the Rock Road. We also had an earlier accident there. Eastbound 44 drivers, a slow go at Laclede Station Road. And by the way, on the Illinois side, also jammed is northbound Route 3. Headed for the Poplar Street Bridge. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 7:33.
Watch the Marc Cox Show live on the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox. Log on to our website or use your mobile device to join the daily live stream and watch the show. It's the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox.
Dear beloved home, over our years, we've experienced many of life's changes together. Our lives have changed, and we've made changes to you as well. Now, as we pulled into our driveway at the end of a long day, we had noticed it was time for a makeover. Exteriors by Mosby provided us a broad range of options for new windows and siding that let us love your outside as much as we love your inside. With Exteriors by Mosby, we're taking as good care of you as you care for us.
Call 909-8383 or visit exteriorsbymosby.com. Exteriors by Mosby. Home never felt so good.
Protecting our families means putting sexual predators behind bars. Here's 14-year Missouri police detective Beth Neeland.
As a police detective, I've known the victims and I've seen the devastation caused by sexual assault. In Missouri, many of these cases go unsolved because of the backlog of untested rape kits. Attorney General Josh Hawley uncovered thousands of these untested rape kits. They contain the DNA evidence to bring these sexual predators to justice. Josh Hawley is fighting for our victims, and he's helping us get these violent criminals off our streets.
Protect your family and your community. Call Attorney General Josh Hawley at 573-751-3321 and urge him to keep fighting for funding and working with law enforcement to catch sexual predators. Get them off our streets and get justice for victims. Paid for by One Nation. www.onenationamerica.org.
Do you remember me?
Sure. You and your husband were moving to another home.
This is where we moved to.
It's beautiful.
Please, look at all the junk they left behind.
Point to what you would like to disappear, ma'am.
Well, let's start with that broken bird bath. That old swing set, and that nasty old yard furniture.
All you have to do is point.
Just call us 90 minutes before you need us to be there.
And those broken tree limbs.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.
Honey, it's time. We can't put it off another year. If you've heard this from your spouse lately, then you've probably spent some time outside lamenting the condition of your home. Unattractive siding, old drafty windows. If you can't stand another season with these, call Banner Construction today. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor, which means we have the expertise to properly install top quality James Hardie fiber cement siding on any home. When you hire Banner, you're not just purchasing products. You're investing in 25 years of home improvement expertise with a company that cares about the final result. Banner also installs James Hardie's Beechworth windows. Beechworth windows are beautiful wood windows with maintenance-free exteriors. Compare to Marvin, Pella, or Renewal by Anderson, and you'll see that Beechworth has the best features from each brand, all in one incredible window. Don't put it off another day. Call Banner Construction at 314-569-1050. And have a banner day. Call 314-569-1050.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show. Follow Mark on Twitter at MarcCox971.
most of what CBP does, a lot of what ICE does, doesn't get seen by the American public. They don't realize how valuable we are as it relates to stopping opioids from coming into the country. They don't realize how important it is for as we find gangbangers and send them away from the country. Those important things are done, and they're unseen by most of America. And so it's important for us to point out how valuable they are, and we really appreciate the dedication that the President, the Vice President, and the Secretary showed us in the East Room today.
Yeah, the Deputy Director of ICE there talking about the importance of ICE and what they do and how much he appreciates it. Go to cut 10 real quick with the President, please.
To protect our nation from smuggling, trafficking, drugs, crime, the men and women of DHS are building the border wall as we sit, and the wall is getting longer and taller and stronger each and every day.
He went on to say that the reason that you need to get out and vote and support Republican candidates in the fall is that the people supporting the other side are a coalition of open border extremists who don't mind crime. And if you follow that through to its logical conclusion, he's talking about the MS-13 and the gangs and the smuggling and the drugs and all of that coming up from our southern border, in addition to the other problems that we have in this country. Here's good news, and we're about to get to our Second Amendment segment, the 2A Tuesday, but I want to talk about this real quick first. The number of concealed carry weapon holders and permits in this country has soared to new levels, despite all of the activists out there trying to, I don't know, put a cap on it, I guess would be the best way of looking at it. Up 275% over a 10-year period, according to a new study released by the Crime Prevention Research Center. 4.6 million permits, up from 4.6 million permits in 2007. So that is fantastic. So people are paying attention. About 7% of all Americans now have a concealed carry license. And glad to hear it. Let's get to our guest, please.
If you ban them in the future, the bullets will have been shot and there won't be any more available.
So you don't shoot deer with a bullet that size. If you do, you could cook it at the same time.
Put that double-barrel shotgun and fire 2 blasts outside the house.
That is without a doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
This is 2A Tuesday, brought to you by the Range St. Louis West.
All right, glad that you're with us and happy for the support from the folks out at the Range so that we can do this segment every week, kind of telling you what's going on around the country when it comes to your Second Amendment rights. I'm joined this morning by Lisa Banks, and Lisa is helping organize a pro-Second Amendment rally that's coming up, and we wanted to have her in this morning to talk a little more about that. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on the show.
Well, it's great to see you again. I ran into you recently. You told me about this event coming up, and I'm glad we were able to get you in here. You're a veteran.
Yes, sir.
Right? United States Marine Corps?
That's correct.
Thank you so much for your service.
My pleasure.
We appreciate what you do.
Absolutely.
We really do.
Thank you.
So this is being sponsored by Show Me the People, correct?
Show Me the People is the organization that's putting it on, and the event is titled the same.
Right. And are you president of it or just a member of the organization?
I'm actually the, founder,
awesome.
if you would say so.
Right.
This is kind of my baby, my brainchild. And I put together a group of patriotic Americans who are concerned about the direction that our gun laws are going. And we started this back in April. We've been working on it very diligently. I've got a great team. These guys are really passionate about the Second Amendment. And we've come a long way in the last few months.
So it's that new. The organization is that new.
That's correct.
So is there an easy website for people to go to find out more about it?
Right now, we're just on Facebook. We have a Facebook page and an event page called Show Me the People. We post daily updates, motivational stuff to, kind of stir people into thinking more like our founding fathers did and be more aware of what their constitutional rights are.
Well, you need to be. I mean, I thought that was good news, learning how many new concealed carry permits have been issued the past 10 years.
Absolutely.
And, that's not for everyone, but I make that point all the time when I talk about school security, and I know that's not what you're here to talk about today, but there was a big story yesterday in the mainstream media about a school reopening in Santa Fe, Texas, where there was a shooting back in the spring, and all of the focus was on the emotion of the kids returning to school and how this is a trend and what are we going to do next. The real story is when the school reopened this year, they had metal detectors and they had more armed guards because these are soft targets and people need to realize that a good guy with a gun is the only answer to a bad guy with a gun.
And we need to protect our kids.
Yeah. What else? I mean, how do you put a price on that is my point. Because every time I bring this up with superintendents or other people, they poor mouth me, well, we can't afford to do that. That would cost a lot of money to put metal detectors to every entrance.
Lawsuits from parents cost a whole lot more.
I would think, do you want to be the superintendent who's out front of the cameras having to be interviewed on the school shooting that happened in your district and then have to explain afterwards why you couldn't find enough money for an extra school resource officer or somebody who was trained in situations like that? And that's important. I mean, you can't just take anybody and stick them in there and expect them to understand an active shooter situation, because not everybody gets the training that you might have received in the military or that police officers might have received for situations like that.
I know a lot of veterans that would happily volunteer their time and it wouldn't cost the schools a dime.
Oh, I'll bet. But, my point is they need to do it. Don't poor mouth me if you've got AstroTurf on your football fields, right? I mean, it's just a matter of priorities. That's all. So I'm not trying to put you on the spot. That's not why you came in here today to talk about this. But let's talk about the rally. That's coming up the 25th. So people still have, it's going to be this weekend, right?
That's right. Saturday afternoon from 2 to 5 at the Capitol Building in Jefferson City.
You hopefully got a big crowd right out front there?
I think it's going to be pretty impressive. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me who's coming. Who are the speakers and all that?
We have quite a few speakers of renown that are lined up. We've got Christy Nichols, Tony Minetti, and Cortland Sykes, who all ran for the Republican nod for U.S. Senate this year. We've got Ani Cyrus, who is an Iranian immigrant who's also an American citizen now and a humanitarian. And I'm blanking because I'm nervous.
Oh, no. That's okay. I'm anxious to see who all you're going to get out there, because I know that that has a lot to do with the draw and getting people down there.
Right. Jesse Three Eagles, who is a Lakota Sioux and an Army veteran. Kevin Dixie, who's a black gun shop owner here in North St. Louis. He owns No Other Choice Firearms Academy. And,
No Other Choice. I love the name of that.
Oh, he's great. He is just absolutely fantastic.
Well, I need to get him on the show then.
Yes.
I do. I'll get him in here for a 2A segment soon.
And then I also have Gail Needers, who is a retired law enforcement officer, who's going to be present.
Good.
And it's just fantastic. We're super excited about this. The energy and the momentum that's been leading up to this is fantastic. And, we're getting a little bit of pushback from a couple of groups, but the public support for this is like, wow, that's really a great thing you guys are doing. Rah, 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 go for it.
Who would be pushing back on this?
You've got people that kind of like to do their own thing, and Moms Demand Action, I don't think, are real happy with what we're doing.
Well, who cares? I mean, come on. These are the people that show up every time we try to go to Jeff City and change the law a little bit about these silly gun-free zones, and you try to loosen up those regulations a little bit, and they're down there screaming about it. And they're the same people that all they want to do is ban guns. That's all they think. That's the answer to this.
Well, they call it common sense gun control. The problem is that you can't legislate common sense.
Right. No. And criminals don't pay attention to laws, or they wouldn't be criminals, right?
Exactly. And you know what? Nobody's a criminal until they're a criminal.
Thank you. Thank you. Like, I'm thinking of this up in Deerfield, Illinois, where they passed that ban on semi-automatic rifles, right?
Yep.
So you're a law-abiding citizen one day. You went out, you got your firearms permit and the FOID card in the state of Illinois. And the next day, because a bunch of local progressive idiots changed the rules, you're a criminal if you don't turn in your weapon. It's confiscatory. They're going to be in for a shock if they try this widespread around the country.
Yeah, I sure hope that we don't see that, but there are people, I think, that are getting pushed to that breaking point where they're not going to take too much more.
No, and it's not. I don't think we have to worry about as much in the state of Missouri, but you have an opportunity then this Saturday, again, August 25th, 2 to 5 p.m. at that beautiful Capitol building down in Jefferson City to go out and show your support for the Second Amendment, sponsored by Show Me the People, and you can find them on Facebook right now, right, to find out more details on this, and we'll put a link up on our Facebook page and also on the blog at 971talk.com/Cox. So, Lisa Banks, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service to our country as well, and thanks for organizing this.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We appreciate your efforts. 314-241-9797. We're back with more of your phone calls. Again, I've got Jay Ashcroft coming up at the top of the hour at around 8:10. Don't miss it.
97.1 News Time, 7:48. It's 70 degrees. I'm Denise Schaefer, and here are a few of the local stories we're following this morning. The father of a man killed in a St. Louis police shooting has filed a wrongful death lawsuit. Police have opened an investigation into a deadly crash in Berkeley that involved police officers. 4 U.S. Army helicopters were forced to make an emergency landing in the St. Louis area due to storms on Monday. In sports, the Cardinals beat the Dodgers 5-3 last night, and they play tonight at 9:10. This report brought to you by Associated Press, the newest podcast from the Associated Press, Ground Game, hosted by AP's Megan Crane. A weekly conversation about top political issues ahead of the upcoming midterm elections. Available on Apple Podcasts and PodcastOne.com. 97.1 News Time, 7:48. It's 70 degrees.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
What a mess for Illinois drivers this morning trying to head into Missouri. Now, I'll tell you what, we've got an accident westbound 70 at the Missouri end of the Chain of Rocks Bridge, and it is still blocking the left lane. The rest of the cars are on the right shoulder, and that leaves only the right lane open. So a solid jam back into Illinois, in fact, back to 111. Now, we have a problem in that the McKinley Bridge is still closed this morning. That's due to an earlier police incident. So that's putting more volume on the Poplar Street Bridge and the Stan Musial Veterans Memorial Bridge. 55 is back past 203 this morning. 64 is back to 111. It's a slow go on both of those bridges. Now, we also have some heavy volume on northbound 270. That's 55 through Manchester. 44 eastbound slow at 270. Also slow at Laclede Station Road. Westbound 6440 is jammed, and that's from Kings Highway through 170. Eastbound is slow coming off the Boone Bridge. Now, this is pockets, but it's through Timberlake Manor, and then slow again at Big Bend. We've got eastbound 70 lining up, approaching 94 all the way through the Rock Road, and some slow-moving traffic eastbound 270 at Lindbergh. Just to drive with patience this morning. Traffic brought to you by Meineke, with services from oil change to brake repair. The team at Meineke has you covered. And right now, get a basic oil change for only $19.95. Meineke, on with life. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 7:50.
Hey, take a look at your kitchen the next time you walk in there and think of how different it would look with refaced cabinets and a beautiful countertop of either engineered granite or quartz or maybe recycled glass, and a tile backsplash underneath those cabinets that have just been refaced. It would change the look of your kitchen. And the folks at Granite Transformations, that's what they specialize in. They do it at a much better price than anything you're going to find at these big box stores. You need to call them and let them come out. They did this to my kitchen. They came in and they measured and they put new countertops in. Once the countertops are built, they can install them in about a day. So you're not out of your kitchen forever. You're getting a kitchen makeover like you can't believe. And let's face it, the kitchen is where we spend most of our time, and we have gatherings at the house. Everybody's in the kitchen. That's kind of what you do. So do yourself a favor and let the folks at Granite Transformations come over, show you what they can do for you in your kitchen, maybe in your bathroom, maybe if you have a bar downstairs. If you do need a full bathroom remodel, they specialize in that too. And oftentimes it's a matter of helping people with mobility issues be able to age in place, because they can replace that tub with a shower enclosure made out of this same beautiful engineered granite or quartz. You pick it. The color selection is incredible, and you get a lifetime warranty with it as well. So call them at 636-728-1100. Visit them at 1750 Fenn Park Drive down in Fenton, or just go to that website, granitetransformations.com.
Get out of debt with Golden Oak Lending. With today's low mortgage rates in the 3s and increased home prices, now's the time to get low-interest money. Call Golden Oak at 314-567-GOLD. NMLS 114937.
Hi, I've got a question about Schnucks Rewards. What is it?
Oh, Schnucks Rewards is a new mobile app that earns you points on just about everything you buy. When the points add up, you can redeem them for money off.
Really? How?
Oh, it adds up automatically at checkout. You can also use the app to locate items, fill prescriptions, and check the weekly ad.
Whoa, so I get points and helpful features?
Mm-hmm.
Mind blown.
Shop, earn, redeem. Download Schnucks Rewards from your app store.
Victory Men's Health is all about you being you again. You may need testosterone replacement therapy. If you're going to have your hormones treated, make sure you're seeing a specialist. This is not a one-size-fits-all treatment. Make sure you have options. Victory offers several different therapies for testosterone replacement, such as bioidentical pellets, injections, and gels. Plus, they have the newest treatment for ED. It's wave therapy, pain-free, and hundreds of their patients have been treated successfully. Go to victorymenshealth.com.
Are you a baby boomer with questions or concerns regarding your retirement plan? How about the future of U.S. tax rates and trends? Does your investment portfolio fully support your income needs? Heisey Advisory Group can help you answer these questions. Register for one of our no-cost retirement classes on Thursday, August 23rd or Tuesday, August 28th from 6 p.m. to 8:30. We will be covering 3 essentials: income planning, investment planning, and tax-efficient strategies. So call now to register at 314-909-1116. If you're 100% sure you have your retirement plan in place and can live well, this course is not for you. But if you've even had the slightest doubt regarding your retirement, call now. Seating is limited. Call and register at 314-909-1116. That's 314-909-1116.
So the Obama administration had, for all intents and purposes, the same exact policy. Did you ever hear Obama called Hitler?
Weeknights, 9 to midnight.
No, you didn't. It didn't just happen under Trump.
Mark Levin.
On FM News Talk
97.1.
This hour, Making America Great, brought to you by Proctor Drapery, Blinds, Shades, and Shutters. Making your home great again. ProctorDrapery.com. It's Proctor, spelled like doctor.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
RESPICT.
That's it.
That will always be funny.
It will, won't it?
Hey, Republicans. RESPICT.
The Reverend Al. Playing the hits, baby. That's what we're doing for you right here. Don't you worry about it.
I got your blue state right here, baby.
All right, so just to let you know, I think we're going to give away a couple of preseason Blues tickets. 314-241-9797. Be caller number 10 at 314-241-9797. Thought Zach was telling me to be caller number 2, but he was showing me that I only have 2 minutes left.
Piece.
Yeah, 314-241-9797. Caller number 10 gets a voucher for 2 tickets to a preseason Blues game. We're going to give these away every day this week. A lot of people, including Tom Ackerman and Denise Schaefer, very excited about the upcoming Blues season. So good luck to you, and we'll have another winner every day this week. So be sure and stick around for that. Hey, Mike, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir.
I want to let you know, first of all, that I am a Republican and did vote for Trump. But in your last segment, you said a couple things that I'm going to have to politely disagree with.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the first thing, it's kind of trivial, but you likened cost for schools. You know, don't tell me you don't have money when you're spending money on AstroTurf fields. Well, it's proven that over time, AstroTurf fields are cheaper than grass. More people can use them. They can be used for a longer period of time, and they're more cost-effective. And that's why they're put in the first place. Trust me on this one. That's a fact. Number two, as far as, getting resource officers in schools, most schools have a resource officer. The most recent school shooting, I believe, was either in Florida or Texas. Both those schools had resource officers. One didn't even respond in time, I believe. And no amount of money spent on metal detectors or resource officers is ever going to stop the mental illness.
No, I agree, and well stated, Mike, and I'm happy to let you have your say on it. I'll explain why I disagree with part of what you said, and I got no problem with AstroTurf Fields, but if you can pass a bond issue for that, you can pass a bond issue to put metal detectors in, is the point. It's a physical issue. 314-241-9797, Jay Ashcroft at the top of the hour.
Hey folks, consider making your lovely home great again by transforming and complementing your home decor with the finest window fashion from Proctor Drapery. Of course, Michael Proctor's a great guy with exceptional expertise and interior designer, but what's more, he's personally available to you 7 days a week. You don't have to go shopping anywhere, and why would you? Important decisions on window treatments with Michael's expertise and talented eye can and should be made right in the comfort of your lovely home. You'll be excited to see your new look decor right then and there. And Michael offers all the varieties of decorative hardware, the latest gorgeous designer fabrics, luxurious, contemporary, classic. Proctor Drapery has served St. Louis's most gracious citizens since 1974, with the highest quality and value for custom drapery, blinds, shades, and shutters. Also a top-tier Hunter Douglas priority dealer and your first choice for Norman Plantation shutters. Schedule a fast, easy, and convenient appointment with Michael's mobile design unit. Visit ProctorDrapery.com. It's Proctor, spelled like doctor.
Let me tell you about Golden Oak Lending. They've got an easy way for you to figure out what kind of equity you've got in your house and whether or not it's the right time for you to refinance it and access some of it. They call it smart cash, and I think that's pretty smart because if you're going to take money, if you're going to borrow money to pay for something, a wedding or an update to the house, why not take it out of the equity that's sitting there anyway? It just makes a lot of sense. Don't pay some credit card company 25% interest on a loan. That just that defies common sense. Do the common sense thing. Go to Golden Oak Lending. They've got rates in the mid-3s. Call them at 314-567-GOLD. You'll talk to somebody who probably refinanced the house just down the street, so they have a really good idea of what kind of value you've built up in your own home. So give them a call, 314-567-GOLD. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 314-567-GOLD.
KFM Florissant, KFTK AM East St. Louis, K254CR St. Louis.
The Marc Cox Show, brought to you by Thomas Helbig, the official St. Louis financial advisor of The Marc Cox Show.
Find everything Marc Cox at 971talk.com/Cox. FM News Talk.
A former Nazi prison camp guard is kicked out of the United States. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. There have been protests outside his home in Queens, New York, and now he's being sent to Germany.
The White House issuing a statement early today that Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents deported 95-year-old Jaki Pauli. Pauli hid his Nazi connections when he immigrated in 1949, but admitted in 2003 that he trained at a Nazi camp in Poland. A judge revoked his citizenship then and ordered him deported, but no country would take him. The White House says Pauli played a role in the deaths of 6,000 Jews at Travniki concentration camp. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
In about a half hour, jurors at the Paul Manafort trial get back to work. Here's John Decker.
Jury deliberations are now into a fourth day in the tax evasion and bank fraud trial of former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort. A jury of 6 men and 6 women are combing through an 18-count indictment against Manafort, who faces more than 300 years in prison if found guilty on all counts. Prosecutors entered 388 exhibits into evidence for the jury to review, one reason why deliberations may be taking so long to reach a unanimous verdict on all counts. Manafort's attorneys didn't call witnesses in his defense, claiming the prosecution failed to meet its burden of proof. Chris?
Fox's John Decker at the White House. Another report of Russian hacking.
Microsoft said that it removed 6 internet domains registered by a Russian hacking group with ties to the Russian government that tried to spoof legitimate websites. 2 of them are political conservative think tanks, one being the International Republican Institute, the other is the Hudson Institute, as well as spoofing these U.S. Senate websites. They were designed to look legitimate.
That's Fox Business Network's Tracy Carrasco. 2 sources have just told Fox the body of a University of Iowa student has been found. Molly Tibbetts disappeared about a month ago. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Wildfires burn millions of acres each year. And each year, wildland firefighters like Fire Chief James Hall battle to contain them. But they can't do it alone.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. It can ignite and destroy your home, your community, or more. That single ember can be just as dangerous as the wildfire itself. But you can do something firefighters can't. You can act now to prepare your home and your community for wildfire. You can reduce the risk. Do your part. Go to fireadapted.org.
Get fire adapted. Learn what you can do now to reduce wildfire damage later at fireadapted.org. A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council. Learn more at fireadapted.org.
97.1 News Time, 8:03. I'm Denise Schaefer. Here's the official forecast from Fox Tuesday Murray. Partly cloudy today. We'll have a high around 80. Mostly clear, nice tonight, low of 65. Partly sunny, nice tomorrow, high of 80. It's 70 degrees right now. Missouri Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft is investigating why a polling place in O'Fallon opened late in the primary election. He said the doors remained locked 90 minutes past opening time for the August 7th election, and the problem could have impacted the Missouri House races for both Republicans and Democrats. They were decided by less than half of 1% of the vote. St. Charles County joins a nationwide lawsuit to fight against the opioid epidemic. County Executive Steve Ellman announced they filed a lawsuit against pharmaceutical manufacturers and drug distributors for their aggressive and fraudulent marketing of prescription painkillers. The Granite City School Board will meet tonight to discuss possible discipline following a controversial dance team photo shoot. The photos were spread on social media showing members of the dance team and their coach posed with a police vehicle that some thought were inappropriate. The board will decide whether or not the students or coach could face disciplinary action. Police are investigating a deadly crash in Berkeley connected to a police chase. Initially, St. Louis County Police said they were not involved in a chase, but the family of the two men killed in the crash turned over video showing a car speed, followed by a police cruiser. Police said the video confirms the officers were trying to stop the car and decided to launch an internal investigation. This report brought to you by Community Mortgage, lending with extraordinary service. Call Michael Mohan at 314-336-6000 or visit communitymortgagestl.com. 97.1 News Time, 8:04. It's 70 degrees. Sports is brought to you by STL Fenceworks, where your satisfaction is their passion. The Cardinals beat the Dodgers 5-3 in Los Angeles last night. Jose Martinez hit a solo home run in the first, and Jed Jerko and Matt Carpenter both homered in the ninth. Starter Austin Gomber gave up 2 runs and 5 hits in 5 innings. The Cards and Dodgers play Game 2 of their 3-game series tonight at 9:10. 97.1 News Time, 8:05. It's 70 degrees.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Traffic is brought to you by RP Lumber. Best service, best value. What a mess this morning for Illinois drivers. If you're headed in on westbound 270, we've got an accident on the Missouri end of the Chain of Rocks Bridge. It's blocking the left lane and the right shoulder. A solid jam almost back to 255 this morning. Now, the McKinley Bridge remains closed. That's part of the problem, a police incident there this morning. So that's left us with more volume on the Stan Musial Veterans Memorial Bridge and also the Poplar. So westbound 55 is jammed from 203 all the way across the Poplar. 64 is back to 111 before you even get to the 55-70 merge. So it's just a mess through there this morning. And northbound Route 3 is jammed at the bridge complex as well. We've got 44 slow through the depressed section. Westbound 6440 drivers jammed, and that's Kings Highway through 170. Eastbound, some moderate volume through Chesterfield Valley, and then again between Lindbergh and Big Bend. Northbound 270 is jammed, and that's 55 through Manchester. We've got northbound 270 slow through the construction zone at Dorset, and eastbound 70 drivers. It's a slow go. Just about 94 now through the Rock Road. Westbound is slow at Jennings Station. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 8:06.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
Changeable skies on this Tuesday with a mix of clouds and sunshine. At times the sun will be out, at other times completely cloudy. High temperatures near 80, so a lot of the afternoon, think in the 70s. Tonight, clear skies, nice evening, nice overnight, 65 for the low on Wednesday, partly sunny and 80. Thursday, sunshine and 80. Not bad at all. I'm Fox 2 meteorologist Dave Murray for FM News Talk 97.1.
It's 8:06 and 70 degrees, and FM News Talk 97.1 is now available on radio.com. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
Hey, Rhino Shield's got a deal you don't want to pass up. Be sure you get on the phone with them today and take advantage of this at 877-25-RHINO. They're going to give you 25% off the cost of having this fantastic product applied to the outside of your home or your church or your business, you name it. They've done work across the St. Louis region. They've done condos at the Lake of the Ozarks. I'm telling you what, when you can get a product put on your house and you know that you have a 25-year warranty with it, you're not going to have to deal with it again. If you sell your house, you hand that warranty proudly to the new owner so they don't have to worry about painting the house. That's an addition to your sales pitch, right, for selling the house. It's fantastic. And you don't have to worry about it again. It's an exterior ceramic coating. It's beautiful. It looks like paint, but it's not. It's like a rhino hide on the outside of your house. Protects against UV rays. It protects against water, rain, snow, sleet. You don't have to worry about that once it's on there. So give them a call today. Let them come out, show you this before and after pictures of some of the beautiful homes they've done right here in St. Louis. 25% off. End of summer savings. Now that the kids are back to school, you can concentrate on those tasks that need to get done. It's Rhino Shield, 877-25-RHINO, or go to their website at 877-25rhino.com.
Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Law Office of Lance Drury here in St. Louis. I'm sure you've seen or heard ads where people owed the IRS thousands of dollars and their tax bills were miraculously reduced to nothing. I'm here to tell you, the same companies that run those ads are the ones that routinely force clients to call me when they don't resolve their IRS problems and stop returning calls. Look, the IRS doesn't make it easy to resolve a case. So don't waste precious time and money. Contact me, Lance Drury, today. I'm a local tax attorney and I've helped hundreds resolve their IRS problems quickly and cost efficiently. Schedule a free confidential appointment and let's take control of your situation and protect your legal rights. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. You need an experienced tax attorney. You need me, Lance Drury. Call 314-260-6120 or toll free 888-367-6512 or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Apache Village RV has been family owned and operated for over 40 years. Camping is one of the best ways to bring family together, and Apache Village RV will help you find the perfect RV or camper for your family, offering major markdowns on 2018 models to make room for the new 2019s. It's a great time to get a deal at Apache Village RV. Top manufacturers like Fleetwood, Jayco, and Keystone. Full service department to get your camper ready for the road. Located on Dunn Road in Hazelwood. ApacheVillageRV.com. Go one better. Go Apache Village.
Head to Mid-America Arms. From firearms to accessories, you won't find a better selection in Mid-America, including guns, rifles, knives, ammo, holsters, cases, and more. From Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Glock, Benelli, Sig Sauer, and others. Ask their no-commission sales assistants about their trade-in policy, transfers, rebates, and info about concealed carry and basic firearms training. Mid-America Arms, 8205 Gravois Road, and at MidAmericaArms.com. That's MidAmericaArms.com.
FM News Talk 97.1. This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
I think John Brennan's actually a national security risk to the country, and we are safer because his security clearance is gone. And the reason I say that is in 2012, he actually released information to other ex-CIA agents who went on TV and said, oh, we've got a double agent in Yemen. Well, at the time, there was a double agent in Yemen, and his life was put, his or her, I don't know who it was, their life was put at risk because of John Brennan's, releasing information that he shouldn't have.
You tell him, Senator Paul. He's letting Brennan have it there, who's complaining about losing his security clearance. And now there may be others who are going to lose their security clearance. We'll see what happens. The president pointed out correctly yesterday that it's worth a lot of money to have one of those. If you're not in the government anymore, you could sell that access technically. Not that people are giving away state secrets, but a lot of these people make a lot of money from CNN and other media outlets because they can have somebody with connections, and you don't have that if that's taken away. So we'll talk more about that coming up here in just a couple of minutes. I've got Chris Arps coming in, but right now, let me welcome in my guest. He's Missouri's Secretary of State, Jay Ashcroft. Mr. Ashcroft, how are you?
Good morning. Doing great. What a beautiful morning in Missouri.
Well, good. I'm glad that we could get you on here this morning at the last moment. I appreciate you accommodating us. Your office yesterday announced that you have opened an investigation into a polling place closure out in St. Charles County. I know it was House District 102. What can you tell me about that?
You know, we had a very unofficially, we haven't certified the race yet. We have an extremely close race. And we have a polling location that was not open for 90 minutes. We have reports of individuals that were turned away from that. And we are concerned that closure, that improper closure may have swayed that race. So we're still in the process of continuing to get information and requesting documents and information from that authority. But this is what needs to be done so that people can have confidence in their elections and so that we make sure it was the people, the voters, that made the decision and not ineptitude.
So the option here would be to rerun the race in District 102. There was a 4-vote difference, I know, between Brian Cooper and his opponent, Mr. Hicks.
And then it was a 15-vote on the Democrat side in that same primary, which are razor thin, and that's all unofficial, but it'll probably be certified to be substantially the same, if not exactly the same. We cannot, it's not within my authority to call for a redo of the voting in that precinct. That would have to be done by a judicial authority. But we wanted to gather as many facts as possible and investigate this so that we can provide information. If there is a call after certification of the election for a redo of that, we want to make sure that the judicial authority has the best facts available to make that decision. And once we know the facts, we'll know whether or not this office would support that call.
Good. So in other words, that was my question. So the election results can go ahead and be certified, but there could still be action to rerun that particular or a couple of particular races in that district?
Of course. Okay. The certification just means we kind of validate, we verify, and recheck the votes that were submitted to us on election night. We'd take those unofficial and make them official, but there's still the potential for judicial review. We have had an official complaint that we've received that's been filed with us, so we will go through our normal process, although it's going to be a little bit heightened because of timing issues and because we do just need to get this done quickly and make sure it's correct.
Yeah, you know, and Brian Cooper, who I had on my show the other day, one of the candidates, has pointed out that, you know, he lost by 4 votes, that when you count the votes from this specific polling place, he won 70 to 30% by the votes that were cast there, and he believes that had people been able to vote for that extra hour and a half, that it might have made a difference in that race. That sounds like a legitimate concern.
I guess I would say that it definitely seems worth investigating, and that's what we want to do. You know, I would mention it's kind of unfortunate. Last year in legislation we had before the legislature, we had tried to get the ability to subpoena records from local election authorities if something like this has happened. We were not allowed to do that. The legislation that passed did not give us that authority. We will push in this legislation to get the subpoena authority for records because we need to make sure that we can do a real investigation, that it can be transparent, that it can be comprehensive, and at the end of the day, the people not only of that district but the rest of the state will know how this election was run, how elections are run, and to make sure that the right thing was done in the end.
Yeah, that's good. We're talking to Missouri Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft. Jay, let me switch gears on you here. Here in St. Louis County, obviously we had the primary with the Democrats where you had to walk in and pick a Democrat or Republican ticket. In the Democratic primary, our county prosecutor got upset by a gentleman named Wesley Bell. There are a lot of people that listen to this show who are upset now that in the general election, there's not going to be an option for people to vote for that particular race. Some people have raised the question to me as to why we run our primaries by party ticket and we don't just have open primaries. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would say, first of all, there are 2 things there. I think it's unfortunate that no one was willing to throw their hat in the ring and run for the other parties. I think it's important to have as many people involved as we can, not only voting, but people that are candidates presenting their ideas for how best to fulfill the roles and responsibilities of our different elected positions. One of the things that having a party primary system instead of kind of a jungle primary like they have out in California is that it increases the ability of, I don't want to be pejorative, but maybe smaller parties or lesser known or parties that don't normally have their candidates elected. It makes sure that those parties have a voice. The Green Party, the Constitutional Party, the Libertarian Party, that all are on the ballot in Missouri, it would be even more difficult for their voice to be heard if we did not have the primary process that we have right now. And I think it's important to have a discussion of ideas from all different viewpoints. I tend to believe that my party, when we have an honest discussion of ideas, my party wins. So I love that idea of having an honest discussion of all the ideas we can.
Yeah, it's a great explanation, and I've had people call in and reach out on social media with that question, so that explains it very well. Well, listen, we're going to be following this case, and let us know when you've wrapped up this investigation what the conclusion is.
Please do. Thank you. And we will release a report that will be transparent to the people of the state about this when we're done.
All right. Missouri Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft, we will talk to you soon, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. And at Jay Ashcroft MO, if you want to follow him on social media and Twitter, you can always go to the website, which is pretty easy as well, and that is sos.mo.gov. And you can find out more about his investigation there as well. All right. Quick break, 314-241-9797. Chris Arps coming up. We'll be right back.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
.97.1 News Time, 8:19. It's 71 degrees. I'm Denise Schaefer, and here are a few of the local stories we're following this morning. Senator Claire McCaskill will meet with President Trump's U.S. Supreme Court nominee, Judge Brett Kavanaugh, today. St. Charles County joins a nationwide lawsuit to fight against the opioid epidemic. The Granite City School Board will meet tonight to discuss possible discipline after a controversial dance team photo shoot. In sports, the Cardinals beat the Dodgers 5-3 last night. They continue the series tonight at 9:10. This report brought to you by Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best in fences, decks, patios, and sunrooms. 97.1 News Time, 8:19. It's 71 degrees.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Illinois drivers, I'm so sorry. It is just a mess headed in to Missouri this morning. The accident westbound 270 at Riverview still blocking the left lane and the right shoulder, and we have a solid jam back past 111 onto the Illinois side. In fact, somebody on social media told me she had been sitting on that bridge for an hour and 7 minutes. So it is a mess up north. Now, downtown, we also have a mess. The McKinley Bridge was closed this morning due to a police activity, and we've got a jam headed for and crossing the Poplar Street Bridge, the Stan Musial Bridge. It's just jammed on 55 back to 203. 64 is back to 111. Now, northbound 270 is stacked up. That's 55 through Manchester. It's also slow through the construction zone at Dorset. Eastbound 6440, we had a report of an accident on the Boone Bridge. Most of the volume, though, is between Lindbergh and Big Bend. Westbound slow Kings Highway through 170. Woo! With services from oil change to brake repair, the team at Meineke has you covered. And right now, get a basic oil change for only $19.95. Meineke, on with life. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 8:20.
Well, when you hear the word vault, you believe that if somebody's going to put something in a vault, it's probably valuable. You have an opportunity to crack the vault at the Range St. Louis West right now, and it runs through the end of this month. So you got a few days left, but you need to stop by there, 14803 Manchester Road out in Baldwin. Tell them you want to crack the vault, and they're going to let you enter your own code to try to guess the code to crack the vault. If you win, guess what you get? $25,000 in store credit. That's right. To buy fun stuff and at the Range St. Louis West, whether it's accessories or the gun you've always wanted that just hasn't been in the budget, whatever it is, you've got $25,000 toward that goal. That's fantastic. So where are you getting an offer like that? So go out there, take advantage of it at the Range St. Louis West. While you're there, check out their great sales area upstairs. They've got clothing. They've got accessories. Downstairs, they've got 20 state-of-the-art indoor shooting lanes that are that just they're fantastic. And they've also got a separate area where they do their training. You can find out about their upcoming training and memberships. You can find memberships for as little as $25 a month, which gives you discounts on the range and a lot of other monthly specials just for members. It's the Range St. Louis West. Get in there, crack the vault before the end of the month, and then call and let me know you won, and I'll come over and help you celebrate. 636-220-1300. Go to therangestl.com.
What's the best way to prevent or eliminate wrinkles, sunspots, and other issues that may cause you to look older than you feel? At Right Now or Plastic Surgery, you can avoid these problems and get ahead of the aging process. It's easier than you think, and we can help you stay as young and beautiful as you feel. Call 314-878-8600 to schedule a consultation or go to rightnowerplasticsurgery.com. Stay beautiful with Right Nower, 878-8600.
So chances are you're driving right now, and you probably weren't thinking about needing gas until this very second. Now, if you need gas and want to get more out of your miles, then you should stop by Phillips 66, because right now when you buy 8 gallons of gas, we'll give you up to 50% off St. Louis Cardinals tickets, so you can fill up and head to a game. Phillips 66. Live to the full. See official rules for details. While supplies last. Valid April 1st, 2018 through September 25th, 2018. Last day to obtain a voucher, September 23rd, 2018. Last day to redeem is September 25th, 2018. Copyright 2018 Phillips 66 Company. All rights reserved.
Honey, it's time. We can't put it off another year. If you've heard this from your spouse lately, then you've probably spent some time outside lamenting the condition of your home. Unattractive siding, old drafty windows. If you can't stand another season with these, call Banner Construction today. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor, which means we have the expertise to properly install top quality James Hardie fiber cement siding on any home. When you hire Banner, you're not just purchasing products. You're investing in 25 years of home improvement expertise with a company that cares about the final result. Banner also installs James Hardie's Beechworth windows. Beechworth windows are beautiful wood windows with maintenance-free exteriors. Compare to Marvin, Pella, or Renewal by Anderson, and you'll see that Beechworth has the best features from each brand, all in one incredible window. Don't put it off another day. Call Banner Construction at 314-569-1050 and have a Banner day. Call 314-569-1050.
The news that's now.
Miss Aretha Franklin. My beloved sister is passed, but now home.
Concise and current.
The security clearance of John Brennan.
He's a total lowlife.
FM News Talk.
We're not going to make America great again.
97.1.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app, available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
Marc Cox. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797. This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
I got my head shaved by a jumbo jet. It wasn't easy, but nothing is.
Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Sandra. Good to be with you, and good to be with you this morning. I'm Eric Shawn, in for Bill Hammer. President Trump is also accusing Robert Mueller's team of, as he put it, looking for trouble after the report this weekend that White House counsel Don McGahn has cooperated extensively with the special counsel's investigation. The president says that did happen, but with his approval.
So the president says that Mueller is trying to shape the midterm elections by kind of dragging this out and not just trying to wrap things up. I mean, let's face it. Going to have enough trouble with the Manafort prosecution, it looks like. The Papadopoulos case, it's just all kind of falling apart. So we'll talk more about that. We'll get to your phone calls at 314-241-9797. Congratulations to Mark from Columbia, Illinois. He won the voucher for a couple of preseason Blues tickets. We'll have 2 more of those every day this week. So please stay tuned to the show, and then we'll have that for you. Let's get to our guest, please.
I have a confession to make, Mark.
Yes, what is that?
Well, I wasn't able to find the Chris Arps theme.
You want me to just sing it?
Who is the man who is there for his brother man?
Shaft.
Can you dig it?
Dig it. Nice.
What do you think?
Well done. I thought maybe this was it.
RESPICT.
Now we've got a new one. See, Zach, no worries.
All right,
Can't find the regular one. We've got a new
We
one.
may have to change that.
Yeah, we might have to. Yeah. I think you're right.
Show some RESPICT.
Thank you.
You know that's racist.
What's racist?
Pointing out that Al misspelled that word.
I think Al did that on purpose. That's my theory.
I don't.
Come on, if assuming you're an Aretha Franklin fan, which he seems to be, I mean, I've listened to her music, to her hits at least over the years. I know how to spell the word respect to begin with, but particularly if you're a fan of her music, you know it's RESPECT because that's how she sings it. How would he not know
Maybe
that?
his hearing's bad.
There's no way he just had that in the teleprompter and he misread it. I don't believe that.
Well, he hasn't come out and said that he did it on purpose or it was a mistake.
He's going to ignore it.
He's been
It's never
very
going
silent.
Yeah, he's not going to say anything.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Are you doing the celebrity waiter thing Thursday night?
I'm really excited to do that again.
Where are you
Thursday.
going to be?
I'm going to be at the Italian restaurant we were at before.
Bravo
Yes,
Cucino.
yes.
Yeah, the West County Center.
I want to encourage everyone to come out and help the Crisis Nursery Center. Marc Cox, Chris Arps, and a bunch of other folks will be out there being waiters. I will not be carrying your food or drink, and you don't want that.
Yeah, you don't have to. We're not waiting tables. We're just walking around and talking to folks and hoping that you will throw a few dollars to us, which we will, I promise, pass on to the Crisis Nursery.
Exactly.
In fact, I know Chris has done this on his Facebook page, and on the station Facebook page, the Marc Cox Show, there's a link there. If you can't make it out Thursday night for this great event, you can go online and make a donation in the name of your favorite waiter, and then it all goes straight to the Crisis Nursery.
And I think I met the greatest Elvis impersonator on the planet, Steve Davis.
Steve Davis does a great job. He was there last year, and I feel confident he'll be there again this year.
Great artist, too.
Yeah, he really is, isn't he? Draws stuff all the time. That's a good point. Anyway, that's Thursday night from, I think, 5 to 9, I think, out at the West County Center. So show up, have a good time, say hello. We'd love to see you. All right, that's Chris Arps. I'm Marc Cox. We kind of got shorted that segment because I ran over with Jay Ashcroft a little bit. But we'll talk about that and a lot of other subjects at 314-241-9797. It's all coming up right here. We'll be right back.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
Changeable skies on this Tuesday with a mix of clouds and sunshine. At times the sun will be out, at other times completely cloudy. High temperatures near 80, so a lot of the afternoon, think in the 70s. Tonight, clear skies, nice evening, nice overnight, 65 for the low on Wednesday, partly sunny and 80. Thursday, sunshine and 80. Not bad at all. I'm Fox 2 meteorologist Dave Murray for FM News Talk 97.1.
I'm Jennifer Kushinka with your Money Now. The Trump administration is moving closer this week to levying tariffs on $200 billion of Chinese goods, or nearly half of Chinese imports, despite the start of a fresh round of talks between the two countries to settle the trade dispute. The U.S. is considering a tariff of either 10 or 25% on thousands of categories of products. Walmart patent suggests the nation's largest grocery seller is looking to up its technological game amid competition from Amazon and Kroger. The company has filed patents for virtual reality tools, including a temperature controller delivery vehicle and a docking station with removable lockers. Walmart's patent outlines a truck with 3 levels, a freezer, a refrigerator, and a room temperature compartment. Each would be equipped with a conveyor belt inside that offers couriers easy access to the contents inside. Toll Brothers' quarterly profit rose to $1.26 a share from 87 cents a year ago. Toll Brothers shares up almost 9% in pre-market trading. That's your Money Now.
The clock is ticking. Every day you put off buying life insurance can cost you big time. The older you get, the more you'll have to pay. And a sudden accident or unexpected illness could cause your rates to skyrocket or even make you uninsurable. Beat the clock. Call Select Quote now. No hassle, no obligation. In minutes, you'll have a choice of your best rates from up to 10 highly rated life insurance companies.
Richard, 40 years old, takes meds to control his cholesterol. Still, SelectQuote got him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. Under $1 a day. Don't risk your family's security another minute. Get your free quote now. Just call 800-569-2121. That's 800-569-2121. 800-569-2121. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Your Money Matters, brought to you by Fisher Window and Door Store, your dealer for Marvin Windows and Doors in the St. Louis region. FisherWindow.com. Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Hey, actually good news in traffic. Two things. First of all, they have reopened the McKinley Bridge. That has been reopened. And crews have cleared the accident to the shoulder, westbound 270 at the Missouri end of the Chain of Rocks Bridge. So things are thinning out, but the damage was done up north. We had a solid jam back to 255. But good news for drivers sitting on the Chain of Rocks or the Canal Bridge this morning. That should be getting better. Now, we still have a lot of volume downtown. Westbound 55, 64. 55 is back to 203. 64 is back to 111. It's just a lot of volume on the Poplar Street Bridge and on the Stan Musial Veterans Memorial Bridges. Drivers have had to use that as alternates this morning. Now, westbound 6440 is lined up Kings Highway through 170. Eastbound is slow. That's mainly Lindbergh through Big Bend. Northbound 270 stacked up, and that's mainly from 55 to Big Bend. Then it's moderate volume through the Clayton Road overpass. And we have northbound 270 stacked up, headed through Dorset. Could be an accident through there. Westbound 70, watch for some slow-moving traffic at Jennings Station. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 8:34.
Watch the Marc Cox Show live on the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox. Log on to our website or use your mobile device to join the daily live stream and watch the show. It's the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox.
Gateway Area Accurate Dealers Summer Performance Event has finally arrived. Drive home a new 2019 RDX for $4,200 less than an Audi Q5. GatewayAreaAccurateDealers.com. RDX MSRP $37,300. Dealers set their own price. Destination and handling are extra.
Hi, I'm Steve All of the All Financial Group. We often talk about how to get you to the retirement finish line, but there's another finish line we're focusing on this fall. At the All Financial Group, we're a proud sponsor of the 2018 St. Jude Walk Run to End Childhood Cancer. The children of St. Jude were my inspiration as I completed my very first marathon. Their stories helped give me strength on even the toughest training days. St. Jude has helped push the overall survival rate for childhood cancer to 80% today. But they won't stop until no child dies from cancer. Let's help them get to the finish line. Join me at the starting line on Saturday, September the 22nd at the St. Louis Arch Grounds in honor of Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Or make a donation and find out more about joining the team at steveall.com. That's STEVEAUL.com.
Hi, Sean Long for STL Fenceworks. The secret formula to our success is the marriage of quality products and workmanship with next-level service unseen in our industry, all at a competitive price. These are characteristics that informed and diligent customers seek out, and our competitors cannot duplicate. When you think vinyl fence, think STL Fenceworks. We custom fabricate our own vinyl fence and gates to meet your needs. When you think aluminum and steel ornamental fence, think STL Fenceworks. We purchase truckload quantities, passing the savings on to you. Decks? STL Fenceworks is the largest wholesaler of Wolf cellular PVC decking products in the Midwest. Wolf has proven to exceed the quality and warranty of any other synthetic decking product, and our craftsmen will bring your vision to life. STL Fenceworks is the confluence of quality, service, and affordability. That's value. Give us the opportunity, and we will exceed your expectations. At STL Fenceworks, your satisfaction is our passion.
Marc Cox. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797. This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Behind me, you see what remains of the Silent Sam statue, with the police vehicles and many police officers now guarding what is left of that statue tonight. We take you through the video of when it came down, which was at 9:20 this evening. And as Silent Sam came down, protesters kicked and threw dirt on the statue as it was down. This is a statue, as Deb mentioned, that was raised and dedicated in 1913 as a monument to Confederate soldiers, many of whom came from UNC. 40% of the student body actually went into the Civil War. Some of them actually fought for the North. Most of them fought for the South. It was the largest contingent from any university in the United States.
That was a report from a WRAL last night, a reporter named Brad Johansson, who I know from Cincinnati. And I thought it was fascinating because if you watched this, it was typical, the typical reaction you get from liberal administration. They watched this Confederate war statue be toppled. They had police there. They didn't intervene. They let the brats throw their tantrum. And I fail to understand. You heard what Brad reported there, that this has been up for 105 years. It was dedicated, 50% of the students at that campus during the Civil War went off and fought in the war. Many of them didn't come back. Many of them died in the war. This was simply put up as a memorial to the people that lost their lives. That, plain and simple, at the university. How in the world is that offensive to anybody, and how does tearing it down make you feel better about your own life today? I don't get that. I see it. We saw it at Mizzou. We saw it in Forest Park here. Mm-hmm. We're seeing it in the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. That just infuriates me.
You know, as an African American, I can understand the sentiments of African Americans towards the Confederacy and the Confederate flag.
Sure.
I've made it no secret that I'm not a fan of these statues or of the flag. But I think you have to put things in perspective. After doing a lot of research on these statues, I came to realize that these statues weren't put up as to signify white supremacy or white heritage. These statues were put up for reconciliation between the North and the South. You know, these statues were put up probably 40 or 50 years after the Civil War, and there were still a lot of harsh feelings between the North and the South, and these statues were put up to try to bring some type of healing and some type of reconciliation. I do believe that 105 years later, the statues have served their purpose. The North and the South has reconciliated, and we are more together as a nation than we were back then, and that maybe the statue should come down, because if their original purpose was to bring healing between the North and the South, I think that has been done.
So why don't we just close every Civil War battleground and dismantle the Gettysburg Memorial and all of that? Why don't we just tear it all down and act like it didn't happen? I guess my point is, of all of the problems we have in the world, this statue that's been there for 105 years, it being torn down doesn't change anything.
I agree.
And I understand
I agree with
I
you
understand from your perspective about, why is it, after 105 years it served its purpose? Well, I mean, we don't go around tearing down historic buildings just because we found out that in the Revolutionary War some offensive British general lived there.
But the one difference though, Mark, is these are monuments, these are statues to people that were treasonous to the United States and rebelled against the country. They tried to have a reconciliation a few years after the country said, yes, we'll put a memorial for that. But ultimately, these are people that could be considered treasonous if you rebelled against the United States and formed your own country.
The thing that Abraham Lincoln did after the Civil War was to come out and state very clearly that we've saved the Union, and the only way we can move forward is to welcome everybody back together. We can't treat people as outcasts because they fought on this side or that side during the war. This statue was put up in 1913. So fix my math here, but that's 50 or 60 years after the end of the Civil War in 1845?
What?
The end of the Civil
62?
War. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of World War II.
Okay.
1863, 1864. So 50 plus years later is when this was put up. There were still people who lost loved ones in the Civil War. And
the feelings were still running deep.
You're right, but I just don't understand. We can't take a pencil and erase our history. What the United States has done, and I think Dinesh D'Souza made this argument the best that I've seen in one of his original documentaries, is that what would the world look like without the United States of America? We're an example of a nation that has made many mistakes. But as we've evolved through history, we've righted those mistakes. We fixed it. We had the Civil Rights Act. We've erased a lot of those bad feelings over the years. Acting like the Civil War didn't happen doesn't make it any better.
I think we should just come to the point of view that we have two views that we have of these statues. You have one set of people that see these monuments as monuments to fallen war heroes, to their dead. I understand that. And on the other side, you have people that look at these statues as monuments to people who fought and died to keep their ancestors as slaves. I mean, there's just two different perspectives on that, and those will probably never merge.
In the heat of the civil rights movement in the 1960s, nobody even brought these statues up.
Well, because we were being lynched and we were trying to get the right to vote, Mark.
But the point is that after the Civil Rights Act was passed, there was plenty of opportunity for people to go throw a noose around one of these statues and drag it down. That didn't happen.
They would have a noose around their neck as soon as they did that.
The groups that are doing it now,
Mark.
The groups that are doing it now are fascists. They call themselves Antifa, but the people who were at this monument last night had Antifa flags.
I agree.
They're anarchists.
I agree, but to say the black people should have rose up in 1960s and took down Confederate statues with statues, come on, Mark.
The point is, Chris, is that what difference at this point does it make? To mimic the president's comments, what difference at this point does it make? The folks doing this last night haven't improved their lot in the world by tearing down this statue. Mayor Cruson didn't improve the lives of any St. Louisan by moving the Confederate statue in Forest Park to a museum somewhere and making sure that it is never seen again in the light of day. You can't act like these things didn't happen.
I don't think that people are trying to act like they didn't happen. I think it goes back to what I was saying before, is people say that these statues have served their purpose to bring reconciliation soon after the war.
Serve their purpose to remind us of a time we never want to go back to. I mean, if you go to Germany, you can tour the gas chambers where the Nazis gassed all the Jews. They don't tear them down because they hate what they represent. But they serve as a reminder of things you never want to go back to.
But you don't see statues of Nazi soldiers in Germany either.
But
you don't.
But if you go to the South today, Chris, and we can continue to have this argument, you will find people, professors nonetheless, who will argue to you that the Civil War was not just about slavery.
Well, sure.
So it's academic. The point is it's academic.
All right.
I'm just saying what we see out there is a continuation of the protests about the border wall and all of this Antifa movement in this country. And these universities, the University of Missouri, the University of North Carolina, Raleigh, have laid down and they're just letting it happen. And it's ridiculous.
I agree with you.
And if a single person had walked out there last night and tried to keep the statue from being torn down, they would have been called a white supremacist or a member of the KKK, as opposed to somebody with a little bit of common sense who says, why is this bothering you? It's been here 105 years.
I hear you.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
It's just I don't think you'll ever see it, and I don't fault you for this, but as a white person, I don't think you'll ever see it from an African American's perspective of what that flag and what those statues signified to us.
Okay.
You'll never understand that.
That's what they said about Madonna last night. Did you hear that with her comments about
No.
Aretha Franklin?
I don't watch Madonna.
Oh, come on. You didn't watch the MTV Music Awards last night?
I missed that one.
I didn't either.
They don't
but
play
I saw the
videos
clip.
anymore.
But I saw the clip this morning. All right, quick break. We'll get to Chris to hang around here. 314-241-9797.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
.97.1 News Time, 8:47 at 71 degrees. I'm Denise Schaefer, and here are a few of the local stories we're following this morning. Missouri Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft is investigating why a polling place in O'Fallon opened late in the primary election earlier this month. Senator Claire McCaskill will meet with President Trump's U.S. Supreme Court nominee, Judge Brett Kavanaugh, today. In sports, the Cardinals beat the Dodgers 5-3 last night. They play tonight at 9:10. 97.1 News Time, 8:47.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Boy, it has been a rough morning for Illinois drivers, and it's still jammed on westbound 270. We had an earlier accident at Riverview, and multiple lanes blocked. Well, all lanes are now open, that accident on the shoulder. But traffic was so stacked up behind it, it's taking a while to unwind. It's still back to 111, heaviest 111 through Route 3. Well, we also had a jam downtown. The McKinley Bridge has been reopened, but it was shut down for a long time this morning, and it's left us with more volume on the Poplar Street Bridge and on the Stan Musial Veterans Memorial Bridge. 64 is still jammed back to 111. 55 is back to 203. Westbound 6440 still lined up Kings Highway, and this goes out through Big Bend. We've got a report of an accident at Big Bend. Eastbound is slow back through Lindbergh. Now it's more moderate volume, but 270 northbound still stacked up between 21 and the Clayton Road overpass. Eastbound 70, though, looks a lot better at the Blanchette Bridge, although westbound is slow at Jennings Station. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 8:49.
Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Law Office of Lance Drury here in St. Louis. I'm sure you've seen or heard ads where people owed the IRS thousands of dollars and their tax bills were miraculously reduced to nothing. I'm here to tell you the same companies that run those ads are the ones that routinely force clients to call me when they don't resolve their IRS problems and stop returning calls. Look, the IRS doesn't make it easy to resolve a case. So don't waste precious time and money. Contact me, Lance Drury, today. I'm a local tax attorney and I've helped hundreds resolve their IRS problems quickly and cost efficiently. Schedule a free confidential appointment and let's take control of your situation and protect your legal rights. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. You need an experienced tax attorney. You need me, Lance Drury. Call 314-260-6120 or toll free 888-367-6512 or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Do you remember me?
Sure. You and your husband were moving to another home.
You told me to wave my arm like I was scattering seed.
I remember.
And everything disappeared.
Yes, it did.
Just like that.
Just like that.
This is where we moved to.
It's beautiful.
Please. Look at all the junk they left behind.
Point to what you would like to disappear, ma'am.
You don't want me to wave my arm again?
Only if you want everything to disappear.
All I have to do is point?
All you have to do is point.
Well, let's start with that broken bird bath, that old swing set, and that nasty old yard furniture.
All you have to do is point.
Just call us 90 minutes before you need us to be there.
And those broken tree limbs.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
And that pile of boxes.
Or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.
Dear beloved home, you've always been there for us. From our kids playing in the bathtub when they were little, to teaching our son how to shave for the very first time. But now we have 3 teenagers, and it's created quite the traffic jam. Right Bath by Mosby gave us a wide variety of design choices, all in the latest styles to reflect our tastes. Thank you, Right Bath, for helping us bring an end to the daily bathroom wars, and for helping us love our home again for years to come.
Call 909-1820 or visit rightbath.com. Right Bath by Mosby. Home never felt so good.
From early mornings to late nights, your neighbors are busy creating a better tomorrow. And at Ameren, Illinois, we are accelerating progress. From new natural gas lines in Godfrey to smart technology in Collinsville. Learn more at AmeronIllinois.com/MetroEast. Ameren, Illinois. Energy at work.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app, available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
FM News Talk 97.1. This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
If you're feeding a person a crap sandwich with a smile, it's still a crap sandwich.
That is no commentary on you. Just so you know that, Chris Arp.
Love me
just
some
one of my favorite
Colonel Alan
drops.
West.
That's right. That's right. Just by the way, I know that we mentioned this earlier, but they found a body out in Iowa that they believe may belong to Molly Tibbetts, that missing college student. No details yet on where or what they think might have happened, but I just wanted to pass that along in case you have been following that story. That's a little bit of breaking news right now. Chris, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Take your headphones off and walk over here for a moment. Just walk over here. This statue that I'm showing you here is in the United States Capitol building, and it's a statue of Robert Byrd, the former West Virginia senator, right? Who was a grand dragon of the Ku Klux Klan and went on to get elected to the United States Senate. So I'm waiting for this group of fascists to go in and tear down the statue of this Democrat who in my lifetime was a member of the Ku Klux Klan. In my lifetime. And yet the offense of something that happened 150 years ago, long before any of us was born, is still so prevalent that we're having to tear down a statue that's 105 years old. I understand your passion, and I understand completely when you say that maybe as a white male, I'll never understand that level of offense. But to me, that would be no different than deciding that we're going to just remove any reference to the Civil War from our history books because somebody's feelings might get hurt that happened at some point in our history.
Can I say first, even though I'm in favor of the statues being removed, first and foremost, I could care less one way or the other. I don't lose any sleep. I won't be marching. Please remove these statues and writing editorials about it. It's not that big a deal to me. Sure. But if I had to take a stance on should they stay up or stay down, I would side on taking them down. I think it's like I still think it's like acting like it didn't happen. And then, I want to take my kid to a Civil War battleground somewhere and talk to them about what that was all about and what my perception of what one side was fighting for, what the other side was fighting for, and with the lesson being this should never be allowed to happen again. And I don't think that it will. Let me get to one or two phone calls here before we run out of time. Joseph, you're on the line. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm with the guy Chris there. Really, at the end of the day, doesn't matter to me. But like you said, you just won't understand. And because you won't understand doesn't make your position right. And we're Americans just the same as you. So our situation should be, or our position should be levied pretty heavy. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, again, it doesn't make me lose sleep or anything like that. But they lost. And I don't see us giving statues to losers, particularly in our country. Now, if they want to do it somewhere else outside of the United States, that's one thing. But they lost. They're losers.
Okay, well, I didn't put the statue up. It's been up 105 years. Hey, Chris, you're on the air with Mark and Chris.
Yeah, we didn't. We barely won the Vietnam War if we won it all, but we still have a memorial. But I spent my entirety of my lifetime in the southern states, and camaraderie is something we cherish dearly on both sides. We're all good friends. Worked on an all-black crew for 10 years as the only white boy on the crew. And all of these items we have are sentimental items that just reflect of, just like you say, things we don't need to do in the future and things that we never even look at. We never had a problem at all with any statue or anything we've ever had until people come in from Antifa and things like this that'll stay at that cause for 4 years and never thinking about it again when they leave.
Well, Chris, I appreciate the call. I would say as a reporter in South Carolina when I worked down there, there was a controversy even in the 90s because there was a Virginia battle flag flying over the Capitol building in South Carolina. So the issue's been debated for a long time, but I haven't yet to see it come to something where they're lassoing statues and pulling them down.
I think the ultimate question here, are these statues bringing people together, or are they dividing people?
There you go. Food for thought. Chris Arps, thank you. The Weekend Report 5 to 7 every Saturday with Tony Colombo. Appreciate your time.
You, sir.
Have a great day. Stick around. I'm sure Kilmeade will cover the Molly Tibbetts story. Annie Fry, noon to 3. We'll see you tomorrow.
Hey guys, Glover here for my very good friends at Window World. Man, these guys have been with me for a long time, and I am so proud and privileged to represent them. Every year we get together, usually once a year. A couple good North County boys own the Window World here in town, and I say, who's your big competition? And this latest time they looked at each other and smiled, and they said, Dave, we really don't have a lot of competition. The guys, the solo guys riding around in their truck, God love them, with a magnetic sign on the side of their pickup, but no big companies because we're just that good. Whatever rating agency you go to, they're just so highly rated. They are absolutely dedicated to customer service. They do these fantastic replacement windows. They're so durable, you can actually stand on them. That's one of the kind of little gimmicks that they have. So call them. Make sure you mention me to get the very best of everything. 314-993-1800 or windowworldstl.com. 314-993-1800.
This is the Long-Term Care Minute. According to the Department of Veterans Affairs, of the 16 million veterans who served during World War II, less than 558,000 are still alive. To make things worse, many of them now need long-term care. With the average cost of nursing home care approaching $7,000 monthly, we wondered, what should veterans do? For some advice on this, we called on long-term care expert and best-selling author Don Quante. So Don, what should our veterans do?
Well, quite simply, we recommend our veterans get a free copy of my book, Tax-Free Money for Long-Term Care, where they will learn about a little-known veterans benefit that may allow them to receive up to $26,000 a year tax-free to pay for long-term care. Give me a call right now. The next 30 listeners will get a free copy of my book.
That sounds great, Don. Just call 800-256-1607. That's 800-256-1607. This has been the Long-Term Care Minute.
KFTK FM Florissant, KFTK AM East St. Louis, K254CR St. Louis.
The Marc Cox Show, brought to you by Thomas Helbig, the official St. Louis financial advisor of The Marc Cox Show.
Find everything Marc Cox at 971talk.com/Cox. FM News Talk, 97.1.
A radio.com station.
This is a Fox News